I believe it, you will see it, the writing on the wall. It's for reason, not for malice, that we watch them fall. The amazing atheist. The amazing atheist. Have you seen it? The stupidity of the ones around you. Can you feel it? The need to rise up from the pit of destitute. The amazing atheist. The amazing atheist. Forge a unity, the time is coming to annihilate the ignorant, peddling scum, breathing anger, exhale wisdom, suffocate the indifference. No more complacency. The amazing atheist. The amazing atheist.
Oh yeah, love that fucking song, don't you? I know I do. I just said I did. God damn, I fucking adjusted this camera beforehand, then I start off, I'm like, hey guys, what's up? I'm over in this corner of the screen for some fucking reason. What the fuck, camera? What you done? I gotta fucking adjust you on the fly? No matter what I do, something's always gotta be done. It's fucking ridiculous. It's absurd, I say. Fucking absurd. I shouldn't have to put up with this nonsense. Anywho, I need to stop saying anywho. That's a really, it's super lame. Anyway, so after this stream concludes, there is going to be a new episode of our podcast, Deep Fat Fried, as you would normally expect on a Monday. It's getting a little pushback because I forgot that Monday is the day that it premieres. This is one of the few days that I have off, you know. I'm not really taking it off because I'm streaming, but whatever, you know. It's one of the few days that I'm not shooting something for the fucking podcast. So I'm like, I'll go, this is my chance to do one of my streams. And then it's like, isn't that going to interfere with the It's like, fuck, yes, it is. Whatever. Okay, cool. Well, guess what? The podcast is moving on a little bit later into the night so that I could fucking stream. But at the end of the night, very shortly after this concludes, like 5 to 10 minutes after this show wraps up, there's going to be a premiere of a new episode of Deep Fat Fried. It's called Clits of Steel. It's about some of the baddest bitches in history, or maybe herstory, since we're being all progressive with it, that you've never fucking heard of. Some fucking really badass femme fatale type of bitches. You know what I'm saying? Hell yeah, you do. Anywho, Fuck. Anyway, there's going to be that. And also, I just want to remind you guys that, Streamlabs, Super Chats, all that bullshit is open. You might see in the chat right there, you see Coolman, our little goblin. He's out there putting out the fucking DFF links. So if you're not subscribed to the Deep Fat Fried channel, you could do that. And of course, the link to donate via Streamlabs is down below. And if you don't know how to super chat at this point, well, I'm sorry, you're just a moron. But all of that is open, available, ready to go, blah, 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 etc., etc., etc. So you can make the big jiggly butts appear right here on the screen at any time with your very, very generous donations to the great cause of making me have more money. Because what could be a purer motive than that, Nothing. Goddamn nothing. That's what I say. And of course, as usual, the Streamlabs and the Super Chats shall be read at a few increments during the podcast. No, this isn't really a podcast. A few increments during the show, the live stream, the fucking, song and dance number, whatever the fuck is going on here. It'll be read at random ass intervals. That's what's going to happen. And if you've already, I think it's, I don't know what the minimum number is, but like little $1 and $2 donations don't bother to alert. So, I think it's like over 4 or over 5 or something like that. I should probably know these things, but I don't. And that's what's powerful about me. That's the great thing about me is I don't know what the fuck is going on. And it's kind of beautiful because I know you guys can relate to it because I know for a fact, just like looking at the chat, that you guys also have no fucking idea what the fuck is going on, which is kind of a beautiful thing. So, I would normally kind of spend this time here yakking and bullshitting and yammering endlessly about everything and nothing. But, in this case, since we're trying to, get that Deep Fat Fried episode out as soon as possible, I think we'll try to just get right into the topics of the day. So let's talk about Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion. They released a song called WAP, which is W-A-P. I tried to figure out what exactly WAP stands for. I didn't find either of them talking about what it stands for. I was able to find that there is an organization called Women Against Pornography that shares that acronym. I don't think that that's what's being referenced unless it's just being referenced very ironically because, of course, the music video for their song, WAP, is highly sexual in nature. It features many buxom, which is a word I'm very fond of, many buxom women with large breasts, very large, as you can see here. Some big bolt-on massive fucking titties. Yep. And it also features, something you might have guessed from the alerts that I'm quite fond of, and that's gigantic, jiggling, forceful, oppressive amounts of buttocks, big jiggling asses that threaten to undo the very fabric of our society. So basically, Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, a bunch of other hot chicks going around in this like postmodernist nightmare mansion of like, weird proportions and twisted corridors and shit. Dressed in ornate costumes and just being slutty as hell. And it's kind of beautiful. It's more than kind of beautiful. It's actually quite beautiful. So the lyrics of the song are pretty much nothing more than lengthy descriptions of sexual maneuvers that Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, it pretty much just sexual maneuvers that they enjoy. They espouse their great affinity for big, jiggly fucking asses, of course, big tits, massive dicks, BDSM stuff is thrown in there, talking about whips and handcuffs and chains, and they're dressed in all sorts of crazy get-ups and stuff, and she's talking about how she ain't never lost a fight, but she loves to get beat, all kinds of crazy shit going on in this music video, in this song, and predictably, as a result of that kind of stuff, the song is quite popular, and I guess that WAP, according to someone in the chat, stands for wet ass pussy, which is kind of a beautiful thing. There we go. There's their chat right there. I think that's beautiful, of course. Nothing more powerful than a wet ass pussy. Yeah, so there's that, and so I wanted to kind of talk about the song, and I wanted to talk about the backlash to the song. I'm really more interested in the backlash, because, as far as the song goes, like, is the song any good? I don't know. Ask, like, Anthony Fantano, since apparently he's, like, the arbiter of music or some shit. Like, he just, like, Anthony Fantano shall decide what is good and what is not. He is no mere critic of music. He is the arbiter of all music, So I guess if you want to know whether the song is good or not, don't bother listening to the opinion of a mere mortal like me. Go check out what the objective fact machine, Anthony Fantano is fucking spouting about it, because then you can know the truth. I can only offer opinion. He can offer fact. Is the song good? Is it bad? Only one man's brain knows the answers, and that man, his name is Anthony fucking Fantano. Bow before his wisdom. Yes, the Fantano knows. The Fantano knows. Oh, Jesus God, the Fantano. He's so powerful. His brain is too big. It's too electric. Anyway, the music is not really my genre. I'm not really a huge fan of hip hop music. Me being of white complexion, I understand there's a lot of white people who do like hip hop and stuff, but I'm just not one of them. I'm too white, I guess. So, like, most of the music I like was made by white dudes between, like, 1960 and 1998-ish or so. Like, that's, like, 90% of the music. And then, like, the few things I listen to that have been made since then are made by pretty much, like, Marilyn Manson and Ghost and, like, a smattering of other little bands that I can tolerate a song or two from. So I'm pretty close-minded when it comes to music. So as far as, like, the artistic merit of this song or this video goes, I don't fucking know. I have no goddamn clue. I don't really care. I can tell you this. I enjoyed it. I didn't love it. Wasn't like I'm fucking, oh my God, wow, it's holy shit, it's good. But I enjoyed it. I liked it. For what it was, I thought it was pretty goddamn decent. Fantano loves it, lol. Of course he does. So, see, I was right. Fantano knows. Praise the Fantano! All hail Fantano! All hail Fantano! Okay. Is the video any good? Yeah, I mean, do you like butts that stick out like shelves? I do. So, yeah, I mean, that's good. Big bolt-on boobies, yep. I'm down with that. So, yeah, that's good. This is those things displayed in a very classy, sort of artistic way, Yeah, man, it's fucking beautiful. They're showcased in a very artistically pleasing manner, I should say. That's what really, I mean, classy maybe is not the word. Although I don't see how it's not classy, but I guess a lot of people, when sex is involved, it's not classy at all. But whatever, it's aesthetically pleasing. It's presented in a very aesthetically pleasing manner. They don't just throw some big butts and big tits at you like, look at this. No. They present them artfully, with a sense of, composition, right? And real passion, cinematography, that kind of shit. But there has been some backlash. Oh, yeah. It's been some fucking backlash. This camera's driving me crazy. Give me 1 second while I just make the slightest of little adjustments to this fucking thing. I'll be right back. Okay, cool. I don't need these. What am I doing? I don't need those yet. Okay, I feel so much better now that camera shot looks better. Thank you. Oh, I was horrified at the fucking angle that was being shot from during that whole rant. Like, I'm trying to talk to you guys, and the whole time I'm just looking at the fucking, oh, I can't take it. Why is it framed so bad? Ah! I'm like down here. Hi, guys. Like, fuck that. Anyway, there's been some backlash. Let's go over it because it's fun. What the fuck? Don't do this. What the hell? All right, here we go. This is Errol Weber for Congress. By the way, good way to get a fucking check mark. Just run for Congress. You know, even if you got no chance, they give you the check mark. So if you're looking for an easy way to get that check mark, that's how you do it. By the way, you guys see all these Streamlabs and Super Chats that are popping up on the screen. Just so you know, those will all be read at the end of the show. Actually, I'll probably do like one interval one where I read it about halfway through the show, and then I'll do another one where I read them the remainder at the end of that. Or I don't know. I don't know exactly how it's going to be, but they will all be read at some point during the fucking show. I don't read them as I go because it fucking breaks shit up too much. Anyway, Errol Weber for Congress, CA 37. That new WAP song by Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion is exactly everything that is wrong with mainstream hip-hop culture. It's like one big advertisement for promiscuity, encourages wild and unsafe sex. Then you wonder why Planned Parenthood targets black communities. Sick. Sick, y'all. Ew. It's gross. Big butts and big titties? Not on my watch. What? Like, it's an advertisement for promiscuity. Fucking, what are you talking about, you dumb shit? Okay, let me explain this to you. You're a human being, correct? I'm a human being as well. Do you know how us human beings came to be? You know why there's 7 billion plus people on this fucking planet right now? Every single one of those people, with a few exceptions, because there were some in vitro fertilization cases and stuff, but every single one of those people, with very few exceptions, came about because two people fucked. You don't need to... promiscuity doesn't need a fucking advertisement, all right? We are biologically driven to fuck. We like fucking. If we didn't, we wouldn't exist. We certainly wouldn't exist in the kinds of numbers that we do. Okay? Okay. Next fucking reactionary. I'm sorry. I don't know why every page feels the need to reload when it was already just fine, but that's cool. This is from James P. Bradley. Bradley Congress, a U.S. Senate candidate for CA 33. Told you that's the easiest way to get a fucking check mark in this world. On Twitter. Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion are what happens when children are raised without God and without a strong father figure. Their new song. I love it. Song is in quotations. Like, it's not enough that he dislikes the song. He's gonna deny that it's even a fucking song. There's not even a song, god damn it. Why? By what metric or measure is it not a fucking song? There isn't one. You're a moron. The WAP, which I heard accidentally. Whoops. Oh, dear. Oh, no. I accidentally put on my headphones, went to the YouTube channel that was playing the song and played the whole thing. Oh, there's no escape. I couldn't get away from it. It assaulted me. I just happened to accidentally hear it playing. Sure, bud, sure. Which made me want to pour holy water in my ears. Okay, wait. You're gonna fucking talk about how this song is leading people down some wrong path in life because there's fucking in it. But meanwhile, you're gonna talk about literally just like pouring holy water in my ears to get the naughties out. Cause the demons done crawled in my ear holes, y'all. So I need the water that the fucking magic man said a chant over so that the great cosmic deity that created the universe takes some kind of special love. He, even though he's in everything, he's somehow even more in that water. And then I'm gonna dump that water in my ears to purify myself after having heard this corrupting song. Like, if this song is the result of people being raised without God and without a strong father figure, and all it's telling them to do is fuck, but you're what the result is of someone being raised with God and a strong father figure, and you're pouring fucking magic water in your ears because you heard a song you don't like, guess which one strikes me as the more fucked up, stupid, dangerous, and wrong? No points for guessing, all right? And I feel sorry for future girls if this is their role model. Okay. Secondly, because, of course that wasn't enough. We need to keep going with this shit. She's on a roll. How are you going to stop there when you're fucking... I haven't said nearly enough stupid shit in the course of one tweet. I need to compound it with another tweet worth of ridiculous fucking nonsense. Secondly, while I personally take offense to the lyrics and message of this song, I absolutely respect her First Amendment right to make it. Also surprised that Twitter doesn't mind this kind of free speech, but has a problem with conservative free speech. Aww. What a fucking... All right, I'm glad you at least clarified, like, I don't think the song should be censored or anything, but it's evil and I had to dump holy water in my ears. But, why don't if they're going to censor something, it should be this and not conservative voices like me. I mean, us conservatives, we get on here and we say, like, gay people don't deserve rights and kill all the trannies and stuff. And then we get censored. But then there's this song that's just like, sex is fun and that's allowed? I mean, what the hell? Fuck you. You're so dumb. I hate conservatives. You're all a bunch of fucking morons. I know there's conservatives in the audience. You know what? The conservatives that are here watching this show, good for you. I'm sure you're fucking perfectly fine. But the rest of them, oof. Fucking oof, bitch. They're terrible. Awful people. Just wretchedly bad. But not you guys. You guys are cool. Because you guys are the open-minded conservatives. You're at least listening to another point of view. So whatever. That's my justification for why you... Also, there is the possibility you could give me some money. So don't want to alienate you too much. Got to keep the grift going after all. Anywho. Anyway... Wait for the page to pointlessly reload. Cardi B and Megan, this is from Deanna Lorraine, another congressional candidate. Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion just set the entire female gender back by 100 years with their disgusting and vile WAP song. Remember, Bernie Sanders campaigned with Cardi B. Kamala Harris called her a role model. The Democrats support this trash and depravity. Women's rights were set back 100 years because of this song, you guys. Because of a song of two women going, we like dick and we have sex because it's fun for us. That set women back 100 years. Like, no, the idea that women should be like these demure, non-sexual beings that are sexually inert until acted upon by a dude, that's fucking, that's women being set back 100 years. Women being able to be like, I like big dicks and I cannot lie. You other sisters can't deny. That's fucking forward progress. I don't care. Maybe you don't like it. Maybe it makes you uncomfortable. But that's still, I mean, right? Right. I mean, the sexual repression here, am I wrong, is palpable. Like, doesn't this just all come across like gelling to my fucking ass? Comes across like that to me. You know, hey, maybe if you get that position in Congress, you a big, powerful congressman, maybe you could sleep with some ass of that caliber. So, you know, maybe the plan is in motion. I don't know. It's pretty fucking weird. Pretty fucking weird. Yeah, I mean, anyway, you know, I almost did this stream yesterday, okay? And I'm so glad that I fucking didn't, because if I had done it yesterday, then I would not have been able to watch this. What I'm about to show you right now. This is the Ben Shapiro take. The Ben Shapiro take, ladies and gentlemen, on this matter. Because you know what? It's time. Ben Shapiro's take on this is so fucking hilarious that it's trending on Twitter. I don't know what it is. I have not heard it. I have not listened to it. I was waiting for you guys. I wanted to listen to it for the first time when I was hanging out with my best friends. You guys, man. I saved this moment. I set it aside so that I could share it with you. Let's do this. I'm ready.
Here are some of the lyrics. You ready?
Yes.
Whores in this house. There's some whores in this house.
I love it. Okay, I'm calling it right now. Best thing ever. This is the best fucking thing that's ever happened. This is the best fucking thing that has ever happened in my life. This is the best thing that's ever happened in your life. This is the best thing that has ever happened in any of our lives. I hope that he reads the entire fucking song. I know he doesn't have time to. There's only a minute and 31 seconds of this. So there's no way he's going to read it all. But just the fact that he's even going to read sample lyrics from this song in his, like, let me in my Ben Shapiro voice, and I'm going to let you know the kind of filth and depravity and disgusting nonsense that's happening here. So fucking beautiful. Oh, God, I just want to whip my dick out and fucking jerk off while he talks, because this is so goddamn beautiful. Ooh, yeah. Oh, STREAMLABS Super Chats. Get that shit coming in. Oh, yeah. You know it. You know it. That was a mistake. All right, keep going.
There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house.
Yes.
Hold up.
Yeah.
I said certified freak 7 days a week. Wet ass P word.
He won't. He won't say pussy. Oh, P word, dude. Wet ass P word. He won't say the word pussy. Oh my God. Oh, this is so beautiful. Oh, I just want to fucking, I want to turn this clip into fucking syrup and pour it over my pancakes every morning because it's sweeter than anything else in this world. Oh my God, dude. I can't believe this is happening. This is the culmination of everything that's happened up until this moment. This was, like, it's all downhill from here, folks. It's all downhill from here. This is the pinnacle of the universe. Like, when the Big Bang happened, it was aiming for this moment. Like, the singularity is just chilling there, tiny as fuck. It's all, you know what? If we fucking expand out into a universe, eventually there'll be a guy named Ben Shapiro that'll watch and react to Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion's music video and song WAP. So we gotta fucking, it's time to bang, you guys. It's time to big bang so that we can get to that moment. Fucking 13 billion years later, or however long it's been since the fucking beginning of the universe, we're here. We have arrived. And now it's just the decline. The fucking steady decline from the beauty of this moment. Never again will we experience, like, I just want you guys to soak this moment in, to appreciate that you were here at the fucking peak, at the pinnacle of all existence, the moment Ben Shapiro reacted to WAP. It doesn't get any better than this. We are only, how far are we in this? We're barely in it. Oh my God, I don't know if I can handle the beauty. You know, people like, oh, look at the, you know, next time someone's making an argument for God and they start talking about like the beauty of nature, the majesty of the mountains and all this stuff, like fuck all that. Next time you want to fucking lay that lame argument on me, talk about this moment. Talk about the moment that Ben Shapiro said big ass P word because he couldn't say the word pussy because it makes him too uncomfortable. Oh, I love this. It just doesn't get any fucking better.
Make that pullout game weak. Yeah, you effin' with some wet ass P word. P word is female genitalia.
Like, let's just bask in it. Wee. Oh, what a fucking, yeah, what a time to live. What a time to live, DJ Sketch 720. What a fucking moment. What a fucking time to be alive, to draw breath. What a great fucking moment to just be here, to see this happen, to hear these words. I feel so fucking privileged right now. I feel like, you know, I mean, like, how did I get so lucky? Like, how was I deemed worthy enough to be here in this moment, to experience the beauty, the grandeur, the majesty of this fucking clip? We are but 19 seconds into it. 19 seconds, and it's already the best thing I've ever seen in my fucking life.
Bring a bucket and a mop for this wet-ass P-word. Give me everything you got for this wet-ass P-word. Beat it up, N-word. Catch a charge. Extra large and extra hard. Put this P-word right in your face. Swipe your nose like a credit card.
Just say pussy. Just say pussy.
Hop on top, I want to ride. I do a Kegel while it's inside. Spit in my mouth, look in my eyes. This P-word is wet. Come take a dive. It continues along these lines.
Awesome. Ben, just like, I know that we've had our differences in the past, but you know, in this case, buddy, wow, Ben. I mean, this is beautiful. I mean, I just don't know. I denied your greatness. I thought you were just another conservative mouthpiece. I thought you were but an empty shell, a total shill, a hack, a fraud. But I now see that you are the greatest performance artist that has ever existed. Like, this music video, it was good. It was good on its own. But you brought the fucking je ne sais quoi that really just fucking makes it transcend to a new fucking ethereal plane of fucking reality, man. And I feel it. I feel it in my fucking, it's in my fucking soul, Ben. It's in my soul. It's in my guts. I feel kind of like a tingliness in my fucking balls. I feel like this weird lightness of my asshole. And my brain is just electric. It's like I'm thinking thoughts and possibilities I never could have fathomed before. Thanks to you, Ben. Thanks to you and your beautiful fucking brain. God damn. You're a fucking prophet.
And it gets significantly more vulgar.
Oh.
Like, a lot more.
So
vulgar.
much more full. Oh, it's so much more
Talk your
vulgar.
S word, bite your lip, ask for a call while you ride that D word.
Yeah.
You really ain't never gonna F him for a thing. He already made his mind up before he came. Now get your boots and your coat for this wet ass P word.
Yeah.
Pay my tuition just to kiss me on this wet ass P. Right. So this is guys. This is what feminists fought for.
Yeah.
This is what the feminist movement was all about. It's not. It's not really about women being treated as independent, full, rounded human beings. It's about wet ass P word. And if you
okay, well then fuck it. Gee, you know what? What was my resistance? Why did I ever resist that? No, I mean, this is about sexual autonomy, right? Because men have been making songs about their fucking sexual desires for a very long time. And women have too, in fairness. Like this is not some revolutionary new song. Like this is not the first time a woman has made a song about how she likes, what she likes sexually and, glorifies and revels in her own sexuality. But it's an example of that, and I guess it's a vivid enough example of that it's triggered a bunch of fucking conservatives. Or maybe this is just like they feel like they're losing on so many other fronts, so they feel like they got to do this culture war shit, and they think maybe we can fucking drum up some outrage towards this fucking music video. I don't think it's gonna work. I think people have got real problems to worry about right now. Like there's a big fucking eviction crisis going on. There's massive levels of food insecurity. 1 in 4 Americans have missed some bill payments since this COVID shit started. The school reopening stuff has been a fucking disaster. Lots of stuff going very, very wrong. Chicago getting looted and burned. Portland, it's been fucking riots and fucking protests and shit nonstop for fucking months now. Massive civil unrest, massive dissatisfaction with the state of America. Even Republicans are saying that they're like massively dissatisfied with what's going on in America right now. So this is all, like, make no mistake, this is but a distraction. This is just like, all right, we're doing really fucking shit on all those fronts. So let's see if we can drum up some antagonism towards Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, bouncing their titties and ass around and talking about how much they like big dicks. Because maybe we can get some fucking white suburban Americans scared of that shit. Then maybe we can make some hay out of it. Like, it's not going to work. There's just too much real shit going on right now. No one's fucking wringing their hands about this horse shit, except for a select few little incel bitches.
say anything differently, it's because you're a misogynist, you see. It gets really, really vulgar. Here's
good. I'm glad it does. So beautiful, so powerful, so majestic. Oh, oh. But a distraction or a distraction but? Good one. Good motherfucking one. Chelsea, does this song speak to you as a woman? I watched this with Chelsea last night, and I don't know if it speaks to her as a woman, but she said it was hot, so I know that much. My beard is looking fantastic. Thank you. Thank you kindly. Does he know about the Lincoln Project and Republican voters against Trump? Are you asking if I know about that? Because I do. Yeah, everyone an incel. Okay, I never said everyone's an incel. I said the people who are getting upset about this video are obviously incels. So, yeah. I never said everyone's an incel. Why doesn't Ben like this? Isn't he straight? Oh, well, you know, allegedly. This is the best thing. I mean, it is. I mean, like, look, Ben Shapiro reacting to this music video, you're never going to see anything better than that in your entire fucking life. You're just never going to see anything better. I'm sorry. It's the pinnacle. It's the apex. Like, the universe will get no better than what you've just fucking witnessed. Anyway, as Coolman was just reminding you here in the chat here. Okay. Send TJ Streamlab questions. I'm sorry, it was Jessica Rahr actually that was saying that. Another one of my delightful moderators here. You guys can send in Streamlabs. You guys can send in super chats. They will be read very shortly. And, just feel free to keep those coming in. Feel free to keep the grift going, ladies and gentlemen. Keep that grift going. We can't stop it now. But if you think that we're done looking at reactions to this music video, you are sorely goddamn mistaken. There is much more to go. Because on top of the conservative right-wing backlash, there has also been the woke scold backlash. Oh, no! And it's been over a particular scene in the video with Kylie Jenner. Oh, my God. Kylie Jenner was in the video. Remove Kylie Jenner from the WAP video. Let me see how many... I got to refresh this. See how many signatures it has. Oh, my God. Yeah. Are we going to do it? 66,661 signatures. Oh, 62 now. 63, 64. Oh, my God. It just keeps going and going. Oh, it's skyrocketing. So if you look at the reasons why, didn't she unfollow Megan after being shot twice in the foot in front of her house? I'm doing this for Meg. Doing this for Meg. She's annoying as fuck. Kylie doesn't use her huge platform for good. We should all come together and unfollow her and destroy her career. They are only famous because they have hella surgery and Kim sucked some dick, but they are more worried about North finding out they wanted to abort her and less worried about her mom's pussy flaps on Google. Sick of her irritating ass always using the culture when it's convenient. Fuck her. A lot of this shit, by the way, it just kind of boils down. There's basically two kinds of people in this section. There's the kind of people that are pissed off that Kylie Jenner, a white woman, was used in this video when it could have been all sisters of color. Oh, it was a beautiful rainbow of all the colors that matter. But then this white bitch come in there, and I'm just, no, white bitch in my music video, y'all, no. Real upset, which, by the way, is just racist. I mean, I know. A lot of the SJW crowd out there, they don't like it when you call anti-white racism racist because they're like, no, it's not racist because racism is power plus bigotry or whatever. It's like, because the power dynamics. Yeah. Okay, fine. I don't want to get so hung up on language that we just can't agree. Like, if you don't like the word racist for it, it's fucking bigoted then. It's bigoted and it's stupid, and in my opinion, it's racist, but whatever. Let's just, let's fucking focus on what matters, not the language we're fucking using. It's fucking stupid. The only reason that some of these people want Kylie Jenner removed from this video is because she's white. Oh no, a white person. Gross. Disgusting. Like, we can't foster that attitude in our culture and expect to have a coherent fucking culture. Just like we can't foster white racists who think that a black person, gross. Like, if we're not going to allow that, we can't allow the opposite. I get the power dynamic argument or whatever, but shove that shit aside because it's not really relevant here. The fact of the matter is that if you allow that kind of bigotry to exist, it's going to fucking continue to grow, expand, permeate, and actually affect people's fucking lives. So don't fucking do it. Don't get with it. So here's a reaction on Twitter. This is a person who's criticizing this. Normani did all this, and Kylie walked down the hall and opened a door. If that's not a perfect visual indication of black women having to do the most and white women do the bare minimum to get somewhere, I don't know what is. So Cardi B is like, Normani is one of the best female artists that dances like she dances her fucking ass off. Why would she open a door? Please tell me how that would make sense. The best part of the song is the beat and hook. It's what make you want to shake your ass. Not everything is about race. There's issues out here in the world that is about race that I preach all the time about. This is not about fucking race. Why did I put Kylie on my music video? She treated my sister and daughter so, like, she's kind of defending her decision to do it, but at the same time, she kind of sounds like she's on the ropes. Like, oh shit, backlash. I gotta justify myself. You don't have to justify shit. Kylie Jenner's you know why Kylie Jenner's in that music video? Because she's hot and she has a big old ass and it's Kylie Jenner, so she gets people talking. And by the way, happy birthday to Kylie Jenner, apparently. Because apparently it's Kylie Jenner's fucking birthday. Kim Kardashian, West. Happy birthday, Kylie Jenner. Show them both all up in the shower, getting wet, getting some wet ass P words going on. Up in the shower, which I'm down with. It's fine by me. So it's basically just more bullshit, more fucking opposition to, like, this fucking music video. I guess that it kind of is banking on being controversial in some ways, but, like, the controversy that exists around it is so stupid. Whether it be the fucking sexually repressed right-wingers going, oh no, Western civilization, what happened to you? Or it be these fucking woke scold piece of shit motherfuckers like, oh no, a white person, I'm triggered, no! Just dumb. Dumb all around. Neither of these groups, by the way, have the power at this point to actually censor this video. Although I will give credit, the right wing, they're hand-wringing about it. Oh, no, it's bad, it's awful, it's nasty. Oh, it's so horrible. Sets women back 100 years. Oh, no, hand-wring. None of them really outright called for it to be censored. But the woke scolds, they were totally comfortable asking for censorship. Like, we don't like this part of the video. Take it out. Get it out of there. What, you think artists should be able to decide what to fucking do in their own fucking creations? Nah, bitch. We should decide. We should decide. Us, the angry viewers. How dare you? How dare you do something I don't like? I'm going to start a petition to censor it. Such bullshit. You don't have the right, and you don't deserve the ability to censor what someone else has fucking created that you had nothing to goddamn do with. You didn't fucking lift a goddamn finger to make any of what happened. You had no input on any of the reasons why this fucking song and this music video have been successful. So why do you deserve some fucking, after the fact input? You want to fucking make a goddamn work of art that conforms to your standards? Then you become an artist and you make it fucking happen. Until then, shut your fucking stupid goddamn mouths. You don't get to fucking make a petition about, oh no, you're not allowed to do that. Yes, they are. They're allowed to do anything they fucking want. And you can suck their fucking cocks. All right. That's how I feel, though. Let me know how you feel. Because I can't wait to hear y'all's opinion. Streamlabs. Super Chats. Open. I see there's 1,519 people watching right now. How many of those people have been grifted? Let me tell you something. You don't know the sublime pleasure of life until you have been subjected to the grift. Oh, grifted. All right. So let's talk about something that's a little bit less contemporary. Let's talk about something that's a little bit more obscure, but kind of in the same vein. We're still talking about censorship, but let's talk about a more concrete case of censorship, because, like I said, this Cardi B shit, neither of these groups, whether it be social conservative hand-wringers or it be woke scold fucking, pseudo wannabe fucking utopian bullshit assholes, neither of those groups at this point has the power to actually censor this music video. Neither of those groups has the power to actually do something substantive against this. But let's talk about an older case, a more obscure case about some actual censorship that took place and why I think it's hypocritical. So let's talk about a movie that probably not too many of you have seen, but maybe some of you have. It's a horror classic, I guess you could say. It's a cult classic horror film called Blood-Sucking Freaks. Now, I saw this movie on Joe Bob Briggs' Shudder show, The Last Drive-In. I'm a big fan of Joe Bob, and of course of Darcy the Mail Girl, who has really, really big tits. Now, that's not the only good thing about her, but it's the first thing you notice is that she has really big, fabulous, big fake titties, and I love them. And it's like the kind of fake titties that. If you have my mind, I know some dudes are like, I don't like fake titties. Like, all right, go. Well, get the fuck out of here then. Let me enjoy them. And then, you just want to crawl in them, set up a little nest, just live in the fake titties, peek your head out every now and then. What's up? Anything interesting going on? Nope. Okay, I'm going back in the titties. But she's great. She's great. And Joe Bob, of course, is great. I don't know how many of you guys, like I did, grew up on watching Monster Vision on TNT. But Joe Bob's got a new show on Shudder that's kind of the same thing. You probably have heard of it if you're a Joe Bob fan, so whatever. But he shows some pretty crazy fucking movies. And Blood-Sucking Freaks, I think, was the season 2 opener, along with the movie Chopping Mall. But Blood-Sucking Freaks is definitely a way crazier and cooler movie, in my opinion anyway, than Chopping Mall. So this film contains depictions of sadistic tortures, well beyond what most films at the time and even today would depict. There's a lot of crazy shit in there. The film centers primarily around enslavement, torture, and murder, all sort of targeted towards women with a real misogynistic vibe throughout. Now you might expect this sort of subject matter to receive like this really harrowing treatment, but as you might have guessed just from looking at this poster, it does not. It's very B-movie ish, sort of like this madcap, like farcical tone, very cheesy, very over the top, ridiculous performances, laughable special effects, just crazy shit going on throughout the entire fucking movie. Lots of fucking big titties, lots of asses. There's like well, here, let me just read you my Letterboxd review. It's real short. So here's my Letterboxd review here on my Amazing Atheist account. I gave it 4 stars. Here's a list of about 2% of the crazy shit that's in this movie. Starved, naked, cannibal women in a cage. A woman's butt used as a dartboard. Multiple dismemberments. A sadistic little person whipping a girl's ass as she holds her own guillotine rope in her teeth. When she opens her mouth to cry out, off goes her head. The little person then proceeds to get head from the head. The movie contains white slavery, playing board games with human fingers, etc. Nearly every frame of this movie contains some manner of sadomasochistic, debaucherous weirdness that's bound to make almost everyone uncomfortable, but it's all done with such over-the-top silliness that it's hard to take any of it too seriously. Ultimately, this is a fun movie if you can get on its fucked up level. It's certainly not for everyone, but for just the right kind of weirdo, it's a one of a kind piece of trashy gold. So this is a crazy fucking movie, basically. If you didn't gather it from what I've said at this point, I don't know what else I could say to convey to you just how wild and crazy the fucking movie is. Now, you guys might know Lloyd Kaufman here. If you don't, then that's okay. I'll tell you about him. He's the co-founder of Troma, which is a low-budget film production and distribution company. Behind such gems as Tromeo and Juliet, Class of Nukem High, and probably most famously, The Toxic Avenger. And Troma owns the rights to the movie Blood-Sucking Freaks. Now, Lloyd here had some interesting things to say about that particular film in one of his recent interviews on a podcast called Fractured Listens. I thought I'd play you guys a clip of like him sort of disowning it, but also sort of not disowning it. Still wanting to make money off it while kind of talking shit about it. Here, let's just play it and you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about for yourselves.
However, in the course of 50 years, Michael Hers and I have evolved, and we see that blood-sucking
Michael Hers is the other owner of Trauma.
Freaks is a product of ignorance and insensitivity, and it's a horrible, terrible film. We would never take that film today. We'd never have anything to do with it. But it's extremely popular, and I think today the Me Too movement, or the equivalent of the feminist movement of the 70s and 80s, who did picket the movie a lot, and we didn't get it. We get it now, but it's too late for us to get it because now Bloodsucking Freaks is such an old thing that the feminists got a kick out of it. It's got a lot of female fans now, but we should not have taken it on. I regret that. And but it's a very popular trauma movie, and we've just signed 2 licensing deals. I think T-shirts and.
Yeah, I love it, dude. I love it. Oh yeah, it's a real bad, real insensitive movie, and but we did it, and it's real popular now, and so we're putting out some T-shirts and some other stuff. We signed some licensing deals, and we're still selling it. It's super popular, but but today, if it came new to us now, no way would we even touch that. But the cat's out of the bag. The feminists like it now. It's almost kitsch to them. I love it, dude. I love this, like, speaking out of both sides of your mouth bullshit. Like, oh, it's horrible. Oh, isn't it awful? Oh, isn't it terrible? We're making money off it, and that's cool because, we've already done it, I love Lloyd Kaufman, but this is so fucking hypocritical. And the hypocrisy goes well beyond him. I'm not here to fucking belittle the hypocrisy of fucking Lloyd Kaufman here, because who really gives a fuck? Obviously, the stuff that he's saying out of one side of his mouth is just bullshit. We wouldn't do that today, and it's awful, and it's insensitive. Bullshit. That's all nonsense. He doesn't believe a fucking word of that. Because if he truly believed that, he wouldn't be doing the fucking T-shirt deal and the whatever the other licensing deals are and continuing to make money off the fucking movie. He'd just be like, we shall lock it away in a vault, and never again shall this horrible film see the light of day. If he actually believed that shit, that's what the reaction would be. But it's not that. They just want to make money off it, but they also want to fucking cover their ass by saying, it's terrible, it's an awful film, and anybody who likes it is very naughty, very bad. Oh, you're a horrible person. You know what I mean? But I'm so blown away, because when I saw this on Joe Bob, it's like everybody there, from Joe Bob was there, Darcy was there, Chris Jericho was there, and they were all kind of okay. Well, I'll give Darcy credit. Joe Bob, it was clear that he liked the movie, but he fucking also felt the need to apologize for them. Oh, well, it's horrible, and oh, it's disgusting, but still kind of fun to watch. Chris Jericho was there, and he's like, oh, it's awful, it's terrible, it's wrong. But, it's a fun movie, man. It's real fun. Everyone felt the need, like they had to, go through this litany of apology for liking this movie before they admitted they liked it. I will give Darcy credit. Darcy was just like, I straight up like this movie. And in fact, it makes me kind of horny. And they're like, wow, okay. She didn't fucking go with this big litany of like, oh, well, I feel like I have to fucking make excuses for why I like it or what the fuck ever. But here's the thing that blows my fucking mind, okay? Here's where I get on the hypocrisy of everybody. Not just Lloyd Kaufman or Joe Bob Briggs or any of these other people that watch this fucking Bloodsucking Freaks movie and feel like they need to apologize for fucking liking it. And that's these fucking Saw movies. Okay? What the fuck? It's ridiculous. It's fucking absurd. These Saw movies contain way more blood, way more brutality, way more torture, and it's way more realistic. Unlike everything that happens in Bloodsucking Freaks is so cheesy and so fucking ridiculously fake that you could never possibly for a second believe it's actually happening. It's total cheese. The Saw movies, the violence depicted in those things, the torture, the malevolence and cruelty and total fucking just callousness towards human suffering is all depicted in like hyper realistic ways. You know, the blood, the gore, the psychological trauma, every fucking bit of it is just, it's focused on, and it's so and not only that, Bloodsucking Freaks, like in the end, the villains get their comeuppance. Oh no, they were destroyed by their own evil. You know, the cannibal women that they were keeping locked up in the cage escape and rip them apart. That'll show those fucking weirdos. But in fucking the Saw movies, Jigsaw is like looked at almost like he's like this chaotic good character. Like there's like there's like a good bit of like moral ambiguity, attempted moral ambiguity around Jigsaw as a character. Oh, because, you know, he doesn't really kill people himself. He just puts them in situations where they die. But he always gives them a chance, except for the times when he doesn't. You know, and there's a great review that Your Movie Sucks, Adam from YMS did in 2 parts back in 2012. Where this is one of the things that he delves into in those reviews. So if you want like a deeper, more in-depth explanation of what I'm talking about with this like moral ambiguity that the movies try to create around Jigsaw as a fucking character and his cruelty and his sadism and his torture, then you could just watch his review because it'll explain it in far more detail than I'm willing to go into in a fucking live stream. But the main difference, I mean, like, let's just think about this side-by-side comparison. Both films contain depictions of brutality and torture and sadism. The key difference is that Saw does it way more realistically, way more brutally, and actually has the fucking nerve at the end of that to say like, well, you know, Jigsaw, he ain't too bad of a guy if you really think about it. His heart's in the right place. So you would think that would make, oh, wow, Saw is so much worse of a movie. But no, because there's another difference, and that's that in Bloodsucking Freaks, the motives of the torturers are sexual in nature. They get off on it. And because of that fact alone, even though in every other way Saw is way worse, that fact alone and the squickiness and the ickiness in the American mentality about sex, that alone leads it to be Bloodsucking Freaks is this horrible movie that everyone has to apologize for liking. And it's obscure and no one's fucking seen it. And those who have seen it feel the need to fucking go through this litany of reasons why they shouldn't like it before they finally tell you that they do. And then Saw it played in every fucking multiplex across America. You could see it at your fucking small town, little fucking rinky-dink shithole fucking theater with the bad fucking PA system and the popcorn that hasn't been fucking made fresh for 3 weeks. You can go see it in that fucking shithole in small town America, and people are just like, oh, you seen the latest Saw? That's some crazy shit. Bunch of fucking hypocrites. Bunch of fucking disgusting fucking bullshit. Chelsea says, I don't think Saw is way worse. They're roughly the same. No, they're not. It's not even close. Maybe the first Saw. But if you're talking about the entirety of the Saw trilogy, like, people are literally, like, ripped apart in those movies. Like, people undergo massive fucking quantities of physical, psychological torture and some of the most brutal kills ever committed to film. And it played in multiplexes across America. And, you know, I mean, I've gone into the fucking shit. It's just total fucking hypocrisy. And it brings me to this point about censorship. Because, let's see. Let me make sure I'm in the right place here. So the MPAA, the Motion Picture Association of America, actually did censor Bloodsucking Freaks. And the way they censored Bloodsucking Freaks is they flat out refused to rate the film. Not they gave it an X rating or an NC-17 rating or whatever the fucking death sentence rating for movies that were too crazy was back in the day. Because if you had an X rating back in the day, you could not show your movie in most theaters. If you have an NC-17 rating today, you can't show your movie in most theaters. They wouldn't even do that to it. They flat out refused to rate the fucking movie. Just straight up refused to rate it. They would not even look at it. And by the way, interestingly enough, tying back to that WAP acronym, it was the organization Women Against Pornography that convinced them not to rate the fucking film. So Troma, and here's where we can actually give Lloyd Kaufman a huge fucking dose of credit. Lloyd Kaufman of Troma actually cut the film down to an R-rated version, got the R rating from the MPAA. He's like, look, we cut all the nasty stuff out. Here's an R-rated version of the movie. They gave it the R rating, and then he proceeded to send the unrated cut out to theaters across America. And just said, like, this is the R-rated cut, basically. Which is he got sued by the MPAA and stuff. And eventually had to settle that, I guess. But he basically totally stood up to the censors and fought for this film. It's kind of a shame that nowadays he has to go through this rigmarole of like, oh, it's insensitive, and oh no, it's bad and it's misguided and whatever the fuck. Like, as if the movie is some sort of like moral exemplar that anyone's looking to for fucking guidance or some shit. But he fucking subverted the MPAA. And let's not fucking mince words about the fucking MPAA here. The MPAA is a censorship organization. It is not, it's not framed that way. It's framed as like, oh, this is to help parents make, good decisions for what kind of movies their kids can watch. That's bullshit. It is a censorship organization. And this story, better than most, fucking proves it. It's been shown that they censor art based on a socially conservative agenda. If they think something goes too far, they can slap an NC-17 rating on it, and it becomes very difficult for the film to make money. It becomes, as that comment over That Way says, the kiss of death for a fucking film. So if they think something's gone too far, slap it with an NC-17, and it cannot make its fucking money back, or it will struggle mightily to do so. So to put it in terms that maybe YouTubers can understand a little better, it's like the MPAA has the power to demonetize filmmakers, to say, oh, we don't like what you've made, so you can't make money off of it. So there's a movie that's all about this that I recommend anybody check out. It's called This Film Is Not Yet Rated. And this is a movie, and I'll just read a little bit from the Wikipedia here. The project discusses disparities the filmmaker sees in ratings and feedback between Hollywood and independent films. So let's go into a little bit about what that means. So when you talk about feedback, so if you're an independent filmmaker and you submit a film to the MPAA, they'll say, this is rated NC-17 or this is rated R. And maybe you're going for a PG-13 or whatever. You want to get a different rating. And so you ask them, like, what can I change? What can I change about this to get the rating I'm looking for? Like, what part made you do this? What part made you give it the R? Or what part made you give it the NC-17? If you're an independent filmmaker, the MPAA basically looks at you and says, we can't tell you that. We can't tell you, because if we did that, then we'd be a censorship organization, which we cannot do because we're not meant to be that. Okay? That's their line of bullshit in that scenario. But if you're a major studio, they will tell you exactly what you need to change to get the rating you're looking for. They will tell you exactly what you need to do to get the rating you're looking for. So it puts independent filmmakers and big studios on uneven playing fields. So between homosexual and heterosexual sexual situations. So basically, if there's a gay love scene or a straight love scene that show about the same amount of stuff, that are like the same level of graphic, maybe the straight sex scene gets a PG-13 if there's no nip or whatever, and the gay one gets an R. Or if they're more explicit sex scenes, maybe the straight sex scene gets an R and the gay sex scene gets a fucking NC-17, which is a kiss of death for the fucking movie. Between male and female sexual depictions, so like if a dude's jerking off in the movie, oh, that's funny. It gets a fucking, if it's shot from this level up, maybe it gets a PG-13. But if a woman was doing the same fucking masturbatory scene, it'd be an R. Or maybe if it explicitly shows some masturbation, maybe the male one gets a fucking R and the female one gets a NC-17. And of course, the biggest one, the biggest fucking hypocrisy of all that I just got into is between violence and sexual content. I mean, like Lord of the Rings, fucking chop that orc's head off, fucking massive battles, violence on a fucking epic scale. Violence is the solution. Violence is the answer. Brutality, cruelty, fucking chopping people up, slicing through them like fucking nothing. Oh, there was a titty. R. It's R now. Well, what about just the violence and horrible and, people getting maimed and mutilated? Oh, that's PG-13. PG-13, that's acceptable. But a titty, no, that's an R rating. That's an R rating now. And of course, watch this movie. Look at the fucking hypocrisy. It's fucking crazy. And this movie also makes the case that this is just a fucking it makes the case that this is a censorship organization. It doesn't even apply by its own standards. And none of us, you might notice that you and I, we don't have any say in how the MPAA rates films. Do my standards matter to the MPAA? Do I get any feedback to them? Do I even know who the fuck's on their board? I don't know any of that shit. Neither do you. Yet they get to fucking rate films, and they get to fucking decide to some extent what films are available for your fucking consumption. And of course, this is not the only ratings board that exists like this. There's ones for music, there's ones for video games, there's ones for all sorts of different artistic endeavors, a bunch of censorship organizations all across America controlling the fucking art that we're allowed to consume, that we're allowed to see, because they know better than we do. Fuck that. It's bullshit. Fuck censorship. Yeah, that's pretty much my stand on that. All right, so because of this stuff, I do have some more stuff I want to cover. I got about 4 more things. They're not quite as fleshed out, so it's going to be a little bit more freeform, but I think it's probably wise at this point to delve into our Streamlabs and Super Chats and see how those guys are doing. And I did see someone ask earlier, by the way, about Deep Fat Fried, and ask if it was still coming out tonight. Yes, the new episode of Deep Fat Fried, Clits of Steel, will premiere shortly after the conclusion of this stream. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be premiering about 5 to 10 minutes after this stream wraps up, which shouldn't be too much longer. We should be able to wrap this up around 9:30, 10 o'clock, somewhere in that range, and then you will see the new DFF Clits of Steel about some of the most badass women in history that have ever come about that you probably have not heard of. So let's go ahead and switch cameras to this one, and let's go ahead and take a look at some. I guess I should be more this way. Let's go ahead and take a look at some Streamlabs and some Super Chats and give some people some answers that I know they yearn for deep down inside. Let's start with the Streamlabs, shall we? I'm going to go down to the bottom of this. What's the day? The 10th? Okay. 810, 810, 810. Here we go. So Kurt gave 666. Says, I'm surprised you didn't talk about Brazilian wandering spider in the venomous animals episode. Its venom gives you an erection as you die. Well, I guess I didn't come across that in my research, but goddamn, I wish that I had. I wish that I fucking had. So Pooh gave 666. Says, do you think pedophilia communities on the internet should be allowed as long as they are never going to plan to molest children or watch child porn. I'm not really aware of any sort of pedophilic communities at this point, but I guess that, I guess if they're out there, yeah, as long as they're not doing anything illegal, I suppose. I'm not sure. I don't know. TJ is gored. Gave $4, says, when will you implement the Imgur butt gifts I sent you on Twitter? I'm just passionate about butts as you are, and I want the audience to enjoy dem large, round, bouncing butts. Yeah, I do have your gifts. I'm trying to fix the text. You might notice that when I get like a Streamlabs and shit, like a lot of times if someone leaves a longer comment, they get kind of cut off. So I want to fix that issue before I go adding new GIFs, because it's very much a pain in the ass to add new GIFs to the Streamlabs stuff. So I just want to make sure that everything is fucking, 100% on the fucking level with that before I start fucking with it too much. I want to make sure that I fix the text issue before I add your GIFs, but I do have them. Although I'm probably going to lose track of them by the time I fix that problem. So you might want to keep sending me reminders on that. Ice 19278 gave $50 and did not say anything, but thank you very much for that. Black Commie gave $6.66, says all the dudes complaining about the song were 100% beating off to the video. Of course they were. And of course talking about the WAP video. Glanderson Blooper gave $6.66. I have an audio clip that sounds like TJ calling my kids waterhead idiots, no cheese. Also, you can tell Christian he's a lazy piece of garbage. He'll know who he is. Okay, I'll let him know. Christian, you're a lazy piece of garbage. Your buddy says so. TJ is better than Gord, of course. Ben Shapiro is one of those dudes who's disgusted by big butts. Also, have you heard that Kamala, the Ugandan giant, died yesterday? I think he was WWF when you were a kid. Yeah, I heard about that. It's weird to me. I saw like Kamala Harris is dead. I'm like, what the fuck? And it turned out they were talking about the wrestler Richard Kamala, which is his nickname, Harris, which seems weird. Kind of a strange thing. Maybe Joe Biden should not pick Kamala Harris. Maybe that's an ill omen. Ice 19278 once again gave $6.66. Once again did not say anything. Poseidus John gave $6.60. Says check out this remake starring Ben Shapiro. I think he gave me an attempted. I think he sent me a thing that's like Cardi B's song where they actually replaced the singing with Ben Shapiro reading the lyrics. But I'm afraid of getting a fucking copyright strike if I play that. Controde gave $5 and says if there was a sci-fi film that involved a mad scientist taking the brain of a Cold War era news reporter and putting it in the head of a modern day young adult, Ben Shapiro would be the result. Oh fuck. Isaac Gladstone gave $6.66, says, sup, TJ, Orange Man bad. Yep, Orange Man bad indeed. Isaac Gladstone also gave 9/11 and didn't say anything. Oblivion NPC gave $6.66, says, hey, TJ, been watching since 2013 as an 11 yard. Starting my dumb conservative phase. I think he meant to say 11-year-old. 18 now, and over the years, you've helped me grow a lot, express, and form my own opinions out in this shit cloud. Thank you, dude. Okay. Might want to work a little bit on that grammar. It was a little hard to read. Sorry. But I appreciate it. Hyan 666 said, 666 is what he gave. His name is Hyan. NC-17 films are not aired in pretty much a majority of theaters. The rating is the kiss of death. It is rare to see a film rated that, if at all. Yeah. Victor Olivas gave $2 and says, what are your thoughts on Hassan Piker? I barely know who that is. I think I follow him on Twitter. That's about all I know. Kalambabesh, which I think is a name that I made up at one point, gave $4.20 and said the outrage on both sides of the political aisle surrounding the WAP music video is the perfect summation of how ridiculously vapid and stupid modern American political culture has become. I could not agree more. Kalambabesh. Naru gave $5 and says, I don't understand how Oh, I think I turned off. I'm sorry. I don't know if anyone's donated while I was doing this, but I had alerts turned off for some reason, so I'm sorry about that. Naru gave $5 and says, I don't understand how Saw escapes NC-17 with the amount of violence and gore, but the South Park movie was one naughty word away from that rating. Violence, okay, bad words, never. Yeah, just another example of the hypocrisy. And also, South Park, the South Park movie, whatever you want to say about it, definitely took on the MPAA in a big and definitive sort of way, which I think is fucking pretty cool. Pretty cool use of your first movie. I don't know how to pronounce this name. I'm gonna try Hoyanoyan. I'm terrible. Kiyoma gave $15. Says, while in recent years the ESRB video games have come under fire for not including microtransactions being listed on the game's box, it was originally created over Jack Thompson's BS in the 90s with the government threatening censorship. Yeah, well, that's kind of how a lot of these censorship organizations come about, is the government initially threatens to censor these works of art, and then the industry says, oh, no, don't censor us. We'll censor ourselves. We'll fucking create our own. We'll voluntarily create our own censorship board so we don't have to deal with government censorship. Which is really a fucking dumb solution to the problem, because it seems to me like if the government tries to create a censorship board, you fucking challenge it on First Amendment grounds. But they don't want to have that battle, so instead they just say, oh, no, we'll self-censor, And then they create these organizations like the ESRB or the Comics Code Authority or the MPAA or the RIAA, I think is the one for the music industry. And they're just fucking shit organizations. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. The standards they have are totally fucking ludicrous and ridiculous. They're not protecting anybody. They're not protecting fucking children. They're not protecting adults. They're not fucking... I mean, like, the fucking standards they use for their censorship are so fucking absurd. And they always have this fucking social conservatism bent where they're trying to fucking promote, like, some fucking waspy bullshit, like some white Anglo-Saxon Protestant fucking values, and anything that fucking goes against that is what, of course, gets the fucking, the naughty sticker. Uh-oh, this is bad. This isn't approved by us. This is oh no, it's rotten. It's bad. It's sick. It's twisted. You're not allowed to like this. And if they fucking hate it enough, they usually have mechanisms whereby they can just, like, outright stop it from happening. Now, some of these are worse than others. Like the MPAA definitely has a lot more power than the RIAA, if that's the right organization. The Comics Code Authority is pretty much no longer even a thing. I think a lot of the comic book companies have just started, like, rating their own titles based on their own standards, which at least seems like a slightly better way of doing it. And I'm not really sure what the status is of the ESRB at this point, but yeah, I know that they have that adults only category. I don't really see too many video games in stores rated AO, so I'm assuming that that's also pretty much a death sentence for a game. So that, of course, limits what video game creators can do with their works, because they might have, oh, I want to do this crazy thing. It's got this fucking idea. It's really important to this fucking story and the presentation I'm trying to get across and the message. And then it's like, oh, no, we can't do that because then the ESRB will give us an A rating, an AO rating, and then we're not going to be able to sell it anywhere, which is fucking stupid. But of course, I guess that digital sales and stuff are starting to, somewhat subvert these sorts of strangleholds and break down some of these censorship organizations, and I hope that trend continues. But I know that it's, I know that the forces of censorship are never complacent too long. They're gonna fucking continue to try to get a stranglehold on the fucking art that we can consume for the foreseeable future, and it's up to us to fucking steadfastly oppose their bullshit. Let's go on ahead to some super chats. Super chat. Daniel Krieger, here's more money. Your beard is dank as fuck. Thank you. I appreciate your kind words about my wonderful, wonderful beard. Alan Reyes gave $5, says, eating a Popeye's spicy chicken sandwich with Chick-fil-A wafer fries. It's perfect. Thoughts on the fascism is liberal argument? I have not heard that argument. It sounds dumb. Johnny Topside gave $5 and says, why do I always get stuck dating goth chicks? What a terrible fate. I don't know. Why? Oh, woe is you. Woe is you. What a fuck. Oh yeah, what a grave misfortune. Renowned reviewer 1923 gave $10, says, do you think if we had enough time and money we could make your car fly? Would you like a flying car? I don't know if I would. I'm kind of scared of heights. D gave $5 and says, WAP equals wet ass pussy. You're welcome. Thank you. Renowned reviewer 1923 gave $10 and says, do you like the newest season of Rick and Morty? Did you see Emp Lemon's video on it? He didn't like it. Could you do a video response to it? I'll DM you if so. Yeah, I'll go ahead and do a video response to it. You can go ahead and send me that to my Twitter. I'll take a look for sure. Emp Lemons, yeah, I'll look at that. Or I could just look it up my fucking self. Emp Lemons, Rick and Morty. I don't really know who that YouTube creator is, but
the only thing
is too loud, buddy, too loud. So I guess it's pretty long. I'll add it to the roster, but maybe we can fucking get a fucking clue to it at some point. We might look at that. Renowned reviewer, $10. Yeah, you already said that. I read that one. Eric Martins, $9.99 says, TJ, do you like Frank Zappa? I feel like it'd be fun. I feel like you would be a fan. My favorites are Jazz, Discharge, Party Hats, and Why Does It Hurt When I Pee? I like Frank Zappa as a person. I thought he was kind of like fun to watch in interviews and stuff like that, but I was never a huge fan of the music. Zero Divisor gave $5 and says, super stoked to be catching a live stream. I watch a lot of lefties, but you and Paul are two I tend to agree with the most. Much love, brother. Much love to you, my friend. Mr. Greedo 180 gave $4.99 and says, what is your opinion on Jeff Berwick, a.k.a. the Dollar Vigilante? He seems like a moron, and I'd love to hear you rip on him. I don't know anything about him. Never heard of him in my life. Transylvania Turf, not the trans-exclusionary radical feminist spelling of turf, but like the traditional TURF turf. Gave $50 and says, to save your soul or oil the beard. Hell yeah. Zero Divisor gave $5 and says, just got my DFF shirt. It's the single most excellent piece of clothing I have ever had the pleasure of wearing. It cured my diseases and neuroses. As I told you it would, sir. As I told you it would. Ian Jones gave $5 Canadian and says, I can't believe anybody, let alone politicians, still believe this nonsense about sex being evil in this day and age. Yeah, like, especially in the day and age of like Pornhub and shit. Like, really, you're gonna fucking play the fucking moral outrage about sex in a music video card when like most people fucking like are jerking off to hardcore porn at this point, thanks to like the prevalence of fucking sites like Pornhub and so on. Like, no one's fucking shocked or scandalized by the Cardi B video at this point. Give me a break. Indy gave $1.99 and says, do you think we should do away with culture? Absolutely. Silax gave $5 and says, bring back Corpse Midget. As far as I know, Corpse Midget can still make I never had creative control over Corpse Midget. He can do what he wants. Alan Reyes gave $5 and says, as long as the fun I'm having with them is real, I don't give a fuck if breasts are fake. You are a wise man, Alan. You are a wise, wise man. Rogue Internet Man gave $2 and says, sounds like a rad film. I think he's talking about Blood-Sucking Freaks. Stark Mad 91 gave $2, says, TJ, just start farting. I'll give it a shot. Zero Divisor again with 666. Does anyone remember Madonna's videos from the 80s? Those were just as explicit, maybe more so. Yeah, like this sex and music video shit, this is not some new fucking thing. I don't know why there's like this sudden like, it's time to be outraged. Like, what? Give it a rest. Doug Rubio, $1.99. The drug video didn't have weed. What do you think about it? I don't know what you're talking about. Matthew Booth gave $8, says, you helped me come out as an atheist in 2012. I appreciate you. What's your favorite movie? My favorite movie at this point is probably They Live, starring Roddy Piper and directed by the brilliant John Carpenter. Matthew Booth, $8. He asked the same question again. I don't know if you meant to do that. If you want a refund on that $8, you can you can contact me. Roy Rochelle, £2. Who would win in a fight, Jigsaw or Master Sardu? Probably Jigsaw. He seems like he's way more badass. Sardu is kind of Sardu is the main villain in Bloodsucking Freaks, by the way. He's kind of more effete and scrawny, so I don't know that he would that he'd be much of a threat. Zero Divisor, again, very generous. $5 said, say Chrono is a bad, sick SOB. Okay, I guess I just did. Ethan Davenport gave $5, says, what's your favorite Screaming Trees album? Don't know the band. Sorry. Melody Belk gave $2, says, how about this weather? Yeah, it's crazy. Crazy weather. Silhouetted Animator gave $5, says, ever watched the movie Showgirls? Do you think the movie was in any way satirizing the notorious NC-17 rating other than being an infamous film? I don't know. I usually like the director. I think it was Paul Verhoeven that directed that fucking movie. He's usually pretty fucking brilliant as a director. I don't know what the fuck happened with that film. But yeah, I don't know. Showgirls, it's notoriously bad. I can't really say that I've ever sat down and watched it, but I assume that it's as bad as everyone says it is. Goku, the Super Saiyan Demon, gave £2 and says, have you ever had a spiritual/mystical experience? I've had experiences that maybe felt spiritual or mystical to me, but I don't think they actually were because I don't believe in that sort of thing. I think we got some more donations that have come in. I don't know why none of these alerted. Oh, the alert box is still closed. What the fuck? Come on. Why? What? Okay, now it's fine. I don't know what the fuck is going on there. Okay, well, the alerts should now be showing up. I thought that I enabled them before. I guess I didn't. Controde gave $5, says, don't kid yourself, TJ. Censorship will always exist. The justifications for it are the only things that will change. That's, yeah, I think I kind of concluded on that note and said that, like, this battle is never ending for us. Like, if you want to fight censorship, you literally never get to rest on your laurels and say, all right, we defeated it. John gave $6.66 and said, early voting for Jen Perlman has begun in Florida. Debbie Wasserman Schultz is the face of corruption in the Democratic Party. Let's take her out. Jen kicks ass. All right, cool. Debbie Wasserman Schultz definitely does need to be defeated. I don't know that she will be. Killer Queen gave $6.66. Here's some money to keep the grift going. Hell yeah. TJ has killed Gord. Awesome. Gave $6. Says DFF on stream or biggest grifters. Who do you think are the biggest grifters? I wish I was the biggest grifter, but I guess I'm probably not. I'd be richer if I was. And then wet ass P word 69. I love how quickly you guys come up with these names. Gave 666. Says look into the Catholic Legion of Decency. They were the reason why Hollywood films from the mid 30s until the 60s were so sackless. I know. We should probably do an episode at some point on the forces of censorship and like the kind of stuff they've done over on DFF. DHS gave $30 as just supporting an independent voice. Thank you. You're super kind, and I appreciate it very much. We're going to go ahead and read a few more super chats, and then we're going to fucking continue on with some of the fucking content that we have ready to go here. We got some stuff to go over, but we'll finish up these real quick, and then we'll look at some more a little bit later on as we're wrapping up. Where were we? Okay, I see. Zachary gave $19.99 and says, I love Trump and think he's good for the country. TJ, the moment that he says this, that's true. You did make me say it. Logan Tyner gave $5 and says, TJ, you are a beautiful human being. I know. It's all physical because inside I'm ugly as fuck. Jake Dyer gave $4.99 and says, since you have interest with Adam Johnson again, would you like to guest on Sardonicast and become friends again and not end up like Manson and Nails? I don't know. I mean, I like his shit. I've never stopped liking his shit. We had some disagreements and whatever. I consider it fucking water under the bridge. But he can feel about it however he feels. Theo Davis, $5. The ESRB only looks at about 2 minutes of gameplay per video game before giving it a rating. Sweet. Unknown Soldier gave $4.99 and says, please add the movie Man Bites Dog to your movie watch list. Yeah, I think I've tried to watch that before. Maybe I should try again. Matthew Booth gave $4 and says, sing the diarrhea song. Okay. I don't know it. If there's an actual diarrhea song, I don't know what the words are. Sorry. Silhouetted Animator gave $5, says Robbie Williams, rock DJ, had the singer ripping off his skin and tearing the flayed meat from his bones, aired on MTV in full. Well, that's just violence, though. That's not sexual, so that's okay. Ethan Hogslayer gave $5 and says, love from the Libertarian Right. Well, thank you, Libertarian Right guy, for the love. Melody Belk gave $10, says, thanks for the delicious content. Maledicta gave $5 and says, did you see Rob Schneider has a Netflix stand-up special this week? Are you excited for this event? Yeah, I'm super excited. I love Rob Schneider's stand-up. He's so funny. Nadir Salam Nagnimi gave 5 CHFs. I don't know what country that's from. It says, I salute the one and only fat grifter from hell. Awesome. Chaos and Rush gave $5, says it's hard to give you money when you stream while I'm working. I shall enjoy what I can during my lunch break and know that I stand you all day. Well, I'm sorry that I'm at an inconvenient time zone for you at the moment, but you know how it goes. You know, just got to stream when you stream, man. And thank you guys for the donations. I'm going to continue on with the show. And if you guys want to give more Streamlabs and Super Chats as I go, you're free to do that. I'm going to take a small break to grab a drink, and, get back to the fucking show. So you guys might want to know what's coming up. So we got a fucking tweet that I want to react to from an account that I followed for a while. Used to be a pro Bernie Sanders account. Now it's like one of these very fucking like weird, like super purity testy lefty accounts that I want to fucking challenge on some shit. I want to take a look at, there's a YouTuber, I guess some of you probably have heard of him because they're pretty big, called Phase Rug, that I guess just bought like a $10 million mansion. And I wanted to talk about that. I had some thoughts. I wanted to talk about some of the medical risks that are now being looked at in terms of marijuana. And I also wanted to talk about a few little generalized news stories that maybe there'll be something, maybe they won't. And I guess there's a possibility that I might take a look at this Rick and Morty video that was sent to me by a fan. It's called Rick and Morty Good Show Mad Fandom, or MAAD fan. I don't know. And that's by Emp Lemon, who I guess is somebody who I'm supposed to respond to. I don't know. Looks like it's a pretty popular video, so we'll see what I think about it, I guess, if we decide to get into it. Anyway, that's what's coming up, so stay tuned for that kind of shit, and I will be right back after a short break. Very short, so stick around. right, and we're back. Thank you guys for sticking around. I see about 100 of you left, so fuck those people. Bunch of fucking reprobates, bunch of scumbags. But for most of you, you're pretty good. Those 100 people that left, total pieces of shit. They fucking have earned my utter and complete contempt. But for those of you wise, sagacious fucking souls that stuck around, you're awesome. You guys are... In fact, I'm going to talk to the fucking pleb chat for a minute. I'm feeling generous. I'm going to talk me to the pleb chat. Lewis Black, only in showbiz. What? What's going on here? Smoking anything regularly increases risk of lung cancer. Okay, cool. Sounds great. I guess, whatever. Makes sense. Why is it illegal for minimum wage workers to have a place to live? It's not illegal. It's really hard to do. 100 people left or 100 people are left? No, 100 people left because I was at 13 something and now I'm at 12 something. So that's about 100 people. I'm awesome. Okay, sure. You guys are great. No, you guys are fucking wonderful. Every one of you is a fucking brilliant person because you stuck around. Hey, TJ uses the 4-step Enrich Beard Care Kit by Gillette. That's true. Don't let them know I use Gillette, though. There's people who get triggered by that because they remember that fucking man-hating Gillette ad, and they're like, oh, no. How can you use Gillette when they hate men? They made that big toxic masculinity ad where it's like, men are pieces of shit. Anyway, shave with Gillette, men. It's like, what? What the fuck? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this, Gillette? Smiley. How do you feel about carrot cake? I don't know. Skiz the Diz. Mauser. A good day from Oz. You're my wonder wall. Sorry, someone's asking about your beard care routine. Yeah, don't let them know it's Gillette, though. I only use fucking the finest woman-hating beard creams. TJ is growing a beard like all the great philosophers do. Of course. TJ is the best autistic man, also poop balls. Of course. Anyway, let's get to it. So, would you want policies like Medicare for All and Green New Deal if it meant imperialist foreign policies are enacted at the same time? This is the ultimate fucking bullshit purity test tweet I've ever seen from this account, Grumpy Birdie Sanders, who I guess I still follow the account. I used to follow it because I liked the kind of shit it was posting. But ever since Bernie dropped out, the fucking posts have gotten real fucking awful. Just fucking straight up not good. And this, to me, is like kind of the pinnacle. And it's really not so much what they've said that I find gross. It's the results of this fucking poll. Now you can see I voted for the unpopular option. I said, yes, it's worth it. And they all said, no, it's too costly. It's like, so I flat out do not fucking understand these people. Because right now, we have no Medicare for All. We have no Green New Deal. But we do have imperialist foreign policy already. So how the fuck does it make a lick of goddamn sense? And sorry, chat, but I don't want you on the screen while I'm fucking trying to make this speech because it'll be too distracting for me. How the fuck does it make a lick of goddamn sense to say, oh no, it's not worth doing Medicare for All and a Green New Deal if we're going to continue the same imperialist foreign policy we already fucking have? It's like, this is the fucking picture perfect goddamn example of people letting the perfect be the enemy of the good. Like, hey, it's not worth it to solve some of our problems if we're not going to solve all of them. What? Huh? How does that fucking make sense? And you've got fucking 77.2% of people that are following this guy's account that agree with that horse shit. And I saw a recurring thing. I saw a bunch of these motherfuckers in this thing say foreign policy is domestic policy. You see it right here. You see it right here. Where are they getting that? Because when I hear multiple people saying the same incredibly stupid thing, I know they're getting it from somewhere. So who's spouting that? Now I actually do want the chat on the screen. I want the chat to fucking tell me, where are they getting that talking point? Because it's a bullshit talking point, and I want to know who's responsible for propagating it so I can go fucking skull fuck them into the dust. Because this is fucking nonsense. It's like, there's no point in improving anything if we can't improve everything. Like, what are you fucking talking about? You know, it's like if you're if you're a crippled guy, right? If you got a fucking shitty bum leg and oh man, my leg, it's always hurting. Oh, it's like, would you take $1 million if it meant that your leg would still hurt? It's like, no, fuck you. I'd rather be poor and have a fucked up leg. It's like, what? Huh? This literally makes no fucking sense. None. These people are not rational. They're idiots. Jimmy Dore, I knew it. I fucking knew it was Jimmy Dore, dude. I knew it had to be some dumb fuck Jimmy Dore talking point. All right, he's on my shit list. Just at the same time he's getting off of Paul's shit list, he's getting on mine. If anyone out there knows what kind of videos he's saying this shit in, send me those fucking videos. Because this fucking talking point is the straight up dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire fucking life. And I just listened to Ben Shapiro criticize a fucking Cardi B song, okay? So just fucking major oof on that one. Like, explain the fucking logic. Like, explain it to me. Can anyone possibly fucking justify the logic of let's just ignore Medicare for all and a Green New Deal if we're not going to also end imperialism at the same time? If you have an opportunity to make any improvement to your country, you should fucking take it. Whether it's if you have the ability to change anything for the better, do it. Don't wait for fucking perfection. This mentality, I've seen it just fuck people over and over again. Like, I got my good friend Galen. Smart guy. Real fucking smart. I've seen him. You know how many fucking YouTube videos I've seen him write these big, long scripts to? And I'm like, Galen, you should really put something out. He won't put them out. Because why? Because there's still so much work left to do. They're not perfect yet. And you know what happens? They never get fucking made. They never get made because he's waiting for fucking perfection. It's the same mentality of these people who say, we don't need to go to space because we haven't fucking figured shit out even here on Earth yet. It's like, fuck that. If you have a chance to go to space, you fucking go. There's never going to be everything's perfect here on Earth and now we're ready to go into space. Fuck that. You know when you're ready to go into space? When you have the ability to fucking do it. Don't let the fucking perfect be the enemy of the goddamn good. I've seen it fucking cripple people. It's a mental fucking it's a crippling, debilitating fucking mentality. That everything has to be exactly so, otherwise it's not worth doing anything. This mentality just fucks people. It fucks individuals. It fucks societies. And it's got to be fucking fought tooth and nail everywhere it fucking presents itself. It's fucking stupid. And if you fucking adopt that mentality in anything in your life, consider your fucking way. Change your shit. All right, that's where I'm at on that. We'll fucking delve into that a little deeper later. So I wanted to talk about FaZe Rug. I guess he's got 16.2 million subs. And the reveal of his new $10 million house. $10 million house. Okay? From being a YouTuber. Now, at the height of my YouTube success, which clearly I'm not at right now, at the height of my success on this platform, I was living in a house that was probably like $1 million house, but I was renting it. I didn't buy it. I was renting. Because, frankly, it'd be stupid for someone like me to buy a house. because I never want to stay anywhere. I always want to bounce around. I get sick of places, and I want to go soak in some new scenery. So buying a place, setting down roots, not really my fucking thing. The house I'm living in now probably worth like $240,000, something like that, $250,000, like around that range, and I'm renting it as well. And I cannot fathom the level of success you have to have on YouTube to be able to just buy some $10 million house and be like, check it out, guys. It's my $10 million house. Now, I want to make it clear, all right? I am not against fucking FaZe Rug. I don't know anything about him. I don't know shit about FaZe Rug. And I don't have anything against him. I don't have anything against his $10 million house. In fact, like, obviously, if I could fucking afford a $10 million house, maybe I'd fucking have one. I don't know. I just fucking find it. So obviously, let's just fucking, I want to learn. I'm here to learn, okay? That's the point, is I'm not here to criticize. I'm here to learn, okay? Because, like, if you go to my channel, you see views are down, right? Last video, granted, it was a segment chopped up from an episode of Abandoned Hope, so a lot of people had already seen it, but sitting at like 20,000 views after 2 days. This Biden video got 31,000 views after 3 days. The little stream I did with Jay Darkey, 24,000. Stream I did 6 days ago got 28,000. Legalized drugs. This little videos I did here. I did this series of videos I shot in the traditional style. This legalized drugs, 26. Why I Love 2020, 42. A&E's ratings down 50%, blah, blah, 27. This stream, the patriotic farting stream where I talked about the Goya beans and stuff like that, 45. So views are down. Like I can remember, a few years ago, it wasn't like everything instantly went to like 100,000 views, but most stuff I did, at least reached 100,000 views. And now it's more like 30, 40,000 views. And I get it. It's tougher and shit now. It's a harder fucking, there's a lot more people doing this. Times have moved on. There's fucking new kids on the block, like Vosh capturing the fucking, riding the fucking crest of the zeitgeist. The zeitgeist kind of left my ass behind. It's kind of like, okay, bye zeitgeist. I guess I'm not riding your crest anymore. I guess you got new people. And that's fine. But it's time for me to reclaim my glory, and I think FaZe Rug can show me the way. I've looked at FaZe Rug's top videos. Because I want my $10 million mansion, dude. I want my mansion. I want my $10 million fucking mansion. I can't get it by grifting you guys. That only gets me partially there. I gotta fucking bring in the fucking buku millions of views fucking shit. You know what I mean? I got to get them views, and I got to learn from the master. So let's see. So his top viewed video of all time is Cocaine Prank. So, okay, so that's first note in my head, pranks. Got to do pranks. I filled my swimming pool with giant snakes. That's the next most popular video. Okay, so you got to do wacky shit. You got a swimming pool. It's not enough to just have the swimming pool. You got to fill it with snakes or something crazy, I filled a swimming pool with my own jizz that I saved over the course of, however many years. No, that's not family friendly enough, so you can't do that. But you got to fill it with wacky stuff, man. You got a swimming pool, you got to fill it with fucking pimentos or something and swim around in them. It's got to be some wacky shit. I won a game of Fortnite underwater, not clickbait. Holy shit. I didn't know you could do clickbait, but then just say it's not clickbait, and then it's not clickbait anymore. So that's cool. Last to drop iPhone wins $10,000 challenge. See, I don't have $10,000 to fucking just put up for these contests. But, that's good. People like competition, especially with big money involved. Transforming a homeless man's life. Super emotional. So I need to go find some random homeless schlub and fix his fucking problems. That's a good fucking strategy. Gatorade and Windex bottle prank. Oh, you wacky bastard. A couple more $10,000 contests. Got some kind of 1,000 pounds of dry ice indoors, and there's some chick's butt in the thumbnail. So everyone's like, oh, I got to see how that butt is. It's too small to really tell there. But I got to find that moment in the video where I see the booty so I can tell how I feel about it. Scary killer clown breaks into our new house. That's fun. I tried selling my diamond play button. They really offered this. I guess they offered him $20 for the diamond play button or whatever. I won a game of Fortnite in a movie theater. Craziest experience ever. Wow. Back to school prank. So basically what I'm seeing is, here's how you do it. Here's how you get success. The FaZe Rug way. Number 1, you do pranks. Number 2, you just do wacky shit that makes no sense, like fill your house with dry ice or fill your swimming pool with fucking snakes or whatever the fuck. You know, if you got like some kind of nice luxury car, it's like, uh-oh, I filled my Ferrari with chocolate pudding. And then people are like, whoa, that's crazy. They click on it. You know what I mean? And you do little challenges and stuff with $10,000 on the line. And you do clickbait, but then say it's not clickbait. You win Fortnite underwater somehow. That's how you do it. This is the fucking recipe for success. What have I been doing this whole time? I'm trying to make videos. Look at this shit. Nihilism, objective morality, gender abolitionism, political abolitionism, the collapse of society. What the fuck, TJ? Who's clicking that? Fill a fucking swimming pool with snakes, you stupid son of a bitch. How obvious can they make this for you? I'm a little jealous. I'm a little upset. It's fine. It's fair. I just want $10 million. Is that so much to ask? I just want to live in a $10 million mansion. You know? Like, is that so much to fucking ask here, folks? What do I got to do? Like, I tried. I wanted to sell out. It was just never, the offer was never, wish I could go back in time, man. I wish I could go back in time and let myself know how to fucking be the $10 million YouTuber. I would have said, look, first of all, don't save any money, spend it all on stupid shit, and then make videos about the stupid shit that you spent your money on for more videos. You know, don't stay fat. Whatever money you don't spend on like fucking Ferraris or whatever the fuck else you're going to try to fucking afford, you know, don't do any of that. TJ's ego is as if it's ever not showing. Don't do any of that. Just get skinny. You know, if you got whatever you got to do to be as attractive as possible. Fix your fucked up teeth. Get that shit all white and straight. If you got to get some cosmetic surgery to deal with some fucking unpleasant situations going on here, do that. Get a tan. Get a fucking cool car. Show off your cool car. Do wacky bullshit. Go have stupid fucking adventures like we went for a picnic, but then this crazy dude showed up. And then we fucking threw pudding cups at him. Haha. I don't know why I keep going back to pudding. Maybe I'm hungry. But anyway, you know, just do all that shit. And that's how you do it, TJ. That's the fucking recipe for success. Because here's the thing. I would have thought that, like, showing off your cool car or your big house or any of that stuff, I would have thought the reaction to that from everyday people would be like, fuck you. That's gross. You get to fucking have all, like, but it's not. The reaction of everyday people is, that's awesome. Oh, man, it's so cool that you can afford all this shit. I want to help you afford even more shit. You're already rich. Well, we want to make you richer so we can live vicariously through you. And if I had realized that fundamental principle, you know, then maybe right now I'd be showing off my $10 million mansion. Fuck that. I started earlier. I could be showing off my $20 million mansion. But no, I had to make fucking actual content about things that matter because I'm a fucking idiot. Anyway, I hope my bitterness and my fucking dark comic rage has permeated your souls and tainted your beings, because that's where we're at. Anyway, let's move on to some new stuff. So, as it turns out, You know, all of us stoners that have for years been saying that weed is harmless, that it's not fucking, it's like way better for you than all this other, oh man, it's fucking bullshit. We were wrong. We were wrong. You know, it turns out that when you actually legalize the stuff and studies start to happen, you start to find out that it wasn't the fucking, like, weed turns out is not as healthy as we fucking imagined it was. That's not to say it doesn't have valid medical purposes, but it's starting to look like there's actually some negatives as well. Starting with marijuana use during pregnancy linked to autism in children. So apparently, in the journal Nature, it found that women who use marijuana during pregnancy were 1.5 times more likely to have a child with autism. Which, honestly, that's kind of a good thing, because then they get to become... I know that I have a lot of autistic viewers watching this. I'm sure some of you guys are autistic watching this now. So this is good for me, because obviously I appeal to that demographic. So, you know, women who are pregnant, please keep smoking weed so that you're creating new audience for me. Researchers from the Ottawa Hospital and affiliated institutions reviewed data from every birth in Ontario, Canada between 2007 and 2012, which summed up more than 500,000 in what is believed to be the most extensive study of its kind. In 2,200 cases, the mothers said they were using marijuana during pregnancy without mixing it with tobacco, alcohol, or opioids. The study found an association between maternal cannabis use in pregnancy and the incidence of autism spectrum disorder in the offspring. The incidence of autism spectrum disorder diagnosis was 4 per 1,000 person years among children with exposure, compared to 2.42 among unexposed children, and the fully adjusted hazard ratio was 1.51, according to the study. According to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, past research has linked the use of marijuana during pregnancy to low birth weight in newborns and hyperactivity, attention issues, and other cognitive and behavioral issues in children. The number of pregnant women who use cannabis is believed to be on the rise. A study found approximately 1 in 20 women in the U.S. reported using marijuana while pregnant in 2017, double the rates in 2002, and that's before marijuana became legal in many states. So, turns out you probably should not, at least unless you want an autistic kid, you probably shouldn't smoke weed while you're pregnant, just so you know. And then, of course, the other big story that came out is that smoking or vaping cannabis can cause strokes and heart attacks. Some studies are sending the dream of cannabis being a cure-all up in smoke. The American Heart Association is warning that marijuana use shows substantial risk and no benefit in cardiovascular health. And its deputy chief science and medical officer is recommending that people not smoke or vape any substance, including cannabis products, because of the potential harm to the heart, lungs, and blood vessels. Marijuana contains the psychoactive chemical THC, which gives users the high, as well as more than 100 compounds, cannabinoids, such as the popular cannabidiol or CBD, chemically related to THC, that are still not entirely understood. Studies suggest that they inhibit some enzymes in the body that can affect the way we metabolize certain heart disease medications, such as cholesterol-lowering statins and blood-thinning warfarin, which skews what's considered a safe dosage. So I do want to fucking point out that this does kind of conclude that more research needs to be done, and this is only a small study, and that there's not definitive proof of there's proof of correlation. There's no proof of causation as of yet, but it is looking like marijuana is not the fucking all-natural health food sort of drug that we all imagined it was, and that's fine. Look, tobacco is not good for you. We still use it, although I have stopped using it, but whatever. Alcohol is not good for you, but we still use it. Caffeine, even though its health effects are not radical the way that alcohol and tobacco are, is still not great for you, and we use it, and in fact, we even let kids fucking use caffeine. So marijuana, it turns out, Yeah, it has some fucking. It turns out it has some fucking health risks. Okay, it's not just this wonder drug that's totally safe and harmless like we all imagined it fucking was. Now you can deny this research and say, "Oh, we need more research," and of course that's definitely true. We do need more research. It seems like the autism stuff is a little bit more established than the heart disease and heart attack stuff, but research is fucking pointing in that direction right now. And why wouldn't it? You're literally inhaling smoke. I mean, come on. And look, drugs, they have impacts on us. That's why we take them. The reason that we take drugs is because they have effects. You know, if you took a drug that had no effect on you whatsoever, there'd be no point in it. The reason you take a drug is because it has some kind of effect, usually an effect that on some level you find desirable. I smoke this cigarette, I now feel more relaxed. I smoke this weed, I now feel more whimsical and life has more of a sense of fun to it. I drink this alcohol. Oh, now social barriers are being broken down and I feel more uninhibited and free-spirited. All of these things have positive impacts on us. But we have to recognize that with those positive physiological impacts, there's also the very distinct possibility of negative impacts, of repercussions for taking these substances. And in the case of marijuana, it's looking like if you're pregnant and you smoke it, then you might have an autistic fucking kid. And it looks like if you have heart problems and you smoke it, it might exacerbate those fucking heart problems. Does that mean I'm going to stop smoking weed? No. I'm going to continue to smoke weed because I've decided it's my drug. It's just my drug. Cigarettes, I was addicted to them for years. They put me in horrible situations, these massive, horrible coughing fits, this depletion of my energy levels. All this stuff happened because I smoked cigarettes that I did not like. I didn't like the results of it. I stopped doing it. Alcohol, I mean, I can have some fun on alcohol, but ultimately the price I pay is just too fucking high. I wake up the next day, I'm miserable, I'm cranky, I have a headache, it's pain, it's just, ugh. My body feels horrible, I have fucking horrible shits, it's not good. Caffeine, I like caffeine, I do that shit, and, there's other drugs I take more occasionally, like psychogenic drugs and hallucinogens and shit like that. And those can be fun, but those aren't any sort of like habit sort of thing. But as far as weed goes, weed is great because it just gets me in the right fucking mindset. I don't fucking... it might present some heart complications, but it's probably presenting way less than my cigarette smoking ever did. I don't get hangovers. I feel good. Probably the worst thing that happens other than this potential heart issue is some paranoia every now and then, but usually that's not too bad. So yeah, that's my fucking drug. And everybody's got a drug. Don't think that you don't. You're not as straight edge as you might imagine yourself to be. There's something you're addicted to, something that is compelling you. Even if it's maybe for some people it's endorphins, like, yeah, I exercise so much, I get this big endorphin rush, whatever. You're still addicted to something. You're still addicted to something chemically. Now, maybe exercise is not as unhealthy as some of this other stuff, but I don't know. Maybe you overexert yourself, you can do some damage to your fucking body. But yeah, weed is not completely safe. I think we can fucking come around to admitting that. Let's be realistic. Let's be scientific. Let's not fucking lie to ourselves. Let's not just fucking continue with this myth that it's this wonder drug that is 100% positive and there's no dark side, there's no negatives. I understand why we took that tact when it was illegal everywhere and when we were still fighting for its recognition, but now it's time to be realistic and admit to ourselves the downsides, and there are some. So let's do it. Let's just fucking be honest. Another downside that has always been admitted is it can stunt cognitive development if you smoke it when you're too young. Like if you smoke it as a child for some reason or as a teenager, it can impair your cognitive development as you reach adulthood. Now, I didn't smoke it at those ages, so I didn't have those effects. We all know that weed can have effects on short-term memory and stuff like that, but my memory was already shit, so whatever. I don't even really care about that. So, just make your choice. Make your choice about what drug you want to do, but be realistic about the repercussions. Okay, so now I do have a few little stories I want to do. I don't think I'm going to have time to do the Rick and Morty thing today. Maybe I will. I don't know. I guess it kind of just depends on how quickly we move through these news stories. But we got some news stories I want to go through and just offer some little commentary on. I do want you guys to remember that after the conclusion of this show, there is going to be a new episode of Deep Fat Fried premiering on the Deep Fat Fried channel. It is called Clits of Steel, and it's about some of the most badass women throughout history. And I don't know, do I have a Deep Fat Fried link in my description? Do I have a link to the channel? Yeah, I think I do. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and move that up to the top of the channel. I'm going to move it right under the STREAMLABS link. Oh, that's our Patreon. Hold on. I put the wrong damn link. Give me a second. Yeah, here we go. Oh, that's the fucking where's the fucking channel? Okay, there it is. So I'm going to make that the second link in the description so that when we do wrap up, you guys know where to go. Okay, cool. Anyway, so I want to talk about a few stories really quick here, and then we'll get to some more questions, I think, if we have enough. So remember, guys, if you want to give Super Chats or Streamlabs, they will be read at the conclusion of the show. So feel free to send those in at any time. It certainly helps out, and I love your money. I love grifting you guys. You guys are wonderful. It's you guys that make this all possible for sure. Because YouTube, they don't pay me a fucking dime. If you want to see the kind of shit I deal with, like, nothing's monetized on my channel. It's just a litany of unmonetized videos that don't get pushed in front of anybody, anywhere, anytime, which I think is kind of one of the reasons why you see such fucking stagnant. You don't really see any growth on my channel over the last few years or anything like that because it's just not pushed. And it's every fucking video is demonetized. There's like a handful, a smattering here and there that get a monetization, and there's no rhyme or reason to it. It just fucking sucks. Anyway, I don't feel like you guys need to hear my sob story bullshit. Let's talk about something that matters. So short timer, half of Democrats don't think Biden will serve all 4 years. So a majority of voters, including half of Democrats, do not think that 77-year-old Democrat Joe Biden will serve all 4 years as president, putting added pressure on who he plans to choose as vice president, a potential successor, according to a new survey. According to the latest Rasmussen reports, 59% of likely voters believe Biden's vice president will take over in his first term if he's elected in November. That includes 49% of Democrats who said in the survey backing up others that have found many in the party don't care who is elected as long as it's not President Trump. Most voters think it's likely that person will be president within the next few years if Biden is elected in November, said the survey analysis. Just over half of voters continue to say they're likely to vote against Trump this fall, and a sizable majority of those voters don't seem to care who runs against him, said Rasmussen. The survey did not indicate or ask likely voters what they expect will happen that would push a President Biden from office, elevating his vice presidential pick. There have been other surveys, however, suggesting that some voters believe the president has cognitive issues. The vice president has cognitive issues. Questions about Biden have put a special focus on his pick for a running mate, which he has limited to women only. Black leaders are pressuring Biden to pick an African-American woman. So I don't know. I don't know why there's this widespread belief that Biden will not complete a term, but there's not the same belief about Trump. Because Trump is pretty much just as old and, from what I've seen, appears every bit as infirm. Maybe a lot of the Trump voters are really just tricked by his fake orange hair and his ridiculous spray-on tan. And they think that because he's able to use that very superficial stuff to make himself appear marginally younger, that he actually is. That's the only thing I can think, because we've seen this guy walking down a ramp like a fucking invalid. We've seen this guy struggling to drink a glass of water and like using two hands and like, We've seen him struggle to get through his fucking, to get through a sentence. We've seen him reading speeches where he clearly doesn't even understand what he's reading. And he's mispronouncing words left and right. I mean, the idea that Biden is old and infirm mentally, I don't really find that to be outrageous. I find that to be obvious. But the idea that Trump is any different or that he's in a different boat on this, that's what I find to be ridiculous. Because it's pretty clear to me that both of these guys are way old, and both of these guys are suffering from serious cognitive decline. Now, in Trump's case, I don't know if Trump ever was an intelligent person, because even when I watch old videos of him from like the 80s when supposedly, you know, he was sharp, he still comes across as pretty dopey. Joe Biden at one point seemed like he was kind of sharp, but it seems like that's totally flown the coop and gone bye-bye. But at this point, there's no doubt that both of these guys are fucking idiots, suffering cognitive decline, and way too old for the position that they're vying for, which is leader of the free world, or quote-unquote free world. But yeah, I think that Democratic voters are absolutely right when they say that Joe Biden is unlikely to complete a first term. I think that Trump is unlikely to complete a second term if he were to get elected. So I think that what we're going to be looking at, one way or the other, is we're going to be looking at the dawn of a Pence presidency or the dawn of a whoever Joe Biden picks presidency. I have him picking Kamala Harris. There are some other possibilities. There's been some stories reported on today that point out that Elizabeth Warren has raised more money for Biden than some of the other contenders have, which could help her, I suppose. There's been a lot of talk about this Rice woman. I don't even know her first name. So I guess there's some other contenders out there, but I have thought from the get-go that the most likely person was Kamala Harris. She just seems like the choice for a guy like Biden. She seems malleable to me. I think that he's looking for someone who has no principles, who is completely malleable, who will be whatever she needs to be. And I think that when you're talking about that, no one fits that bill better than Kamala Harris, who is a total fake. But she can play the part of the progressive. She can play the part of the establishment. She can play the part of the woke scold. She can play any fucking role that she thinks she needs to play. She can play any role that she's told. And so I think that's what Biden is really looking for in a running mate, is someone who's malleable, flexible, and will toe the fucking line. And I don't think anyone can do that better than Kamala fucking Harris. But at the same time, she's also got the ability to think on her feet, which she showed off wonderfully in the first of the Democratic debates and pretty much never showed off again because she started taking some really bad advice from a surge of billionaire donors who led her down a really bad path. I guess a lot of people got on me, by the way, for not giving Tulsi Gabbard adequate credit for halting the ascent of Kamala Harris. There's a good reason for that. I don't think Tulsi Gabbard had shit to do with it. I know there's still, bizarrely, all these Tulsi stands out there, but Tulsi is an awful candidate. She always was, and any sort of deference that I gave her in the past was misguided and misplaced. She's awful. And just wretchedly bad. So let's talk about what we just talked about. Elizabeth Warren has raised more money for Joe Biden than all these other contenders. You're starting to see this story pumped out. I don't know if this is the media preparing us for what they recognize as the inevitability of a Biden-Warren ticket, or if this is the media trying to influence Biden by pointing this out and putting this before his eyes. I don't think Elizabeth Warren is a good choice for this. First of all, I think she's a little bit too independent. I think that she's a little bit too concerned with her own power. I think Harris is the same way, but Harris is way more likely to subjugate herself, to bend the knee. I think Warren is a little bit too proud to fully bend the knee. And I'm not saying she's incapable of bending the knee now. She'll definitely bend that knee, but she'll do it in a little bit more of a reluctant way, whereas Kamala Harris is just eager to bend the knee. So I don't know what the hell the deal with these stories is. This Newsweek is not the only fucking outlet to cover this story. I saw several other major media outlets pushing this out there. So once again, I don't know if this is the media knows that Warren is going to be the nominee and they're pushing it to us to kind of gauge our reaction, or if this is them actually trying to influence the Biden campaign into picking Warren because that's who they like. But I don't think Warren is the right choice for Biden. I don't think that at all. So this is a fun story. Kanye West is trying to run for president, apparently. We've seen stories about this. We've heard he's running. No, he's not running. He's dropping out. Oh, he's still running. We're hearing all kinds of shit. Now, the latest in the Kanye West presidential campaign drama is that, maybe he's going to be charged with electoral fraud. So given that he didn't announce his candidacy until July, Kanye West's presidential bid has been an uphill battle from the start, but now his campaign is facing a brand new hurdle to appear on ballots in November in the form of suggestions of potential electoral fraud. The rapper has filed petitions to appear on the presidential ticket in 10 states, but so far has only managed to secure a spot in Oklahoma's ballot, although he has many petitions pending review. While he managed to meet filing deadlines for Illinois and New Jersey, the two states are now throwing West eligibility into doubt after both announced that the majority of signatures submitted as part of his petition are invalid. The latest issue has come in West's home state, where Chicago's WTTW reported that he was 1,300 signatures short of the necessary 2,500 needed to appear on the Illinois ballot. A hearing officer determined that only 1,200 signatures submitted were valid after the 46th Ward Democratic nominee member Sean Tenner was inspired to take a closer look at the rapper's petition. WTTW reported that the petition submitted by his campaign with the help of GOP officials in Wisconsin is also being challenged. So basically, West is trying to get onto the ballot in a number of states, and in a number of states, the way you do that is you have to have a petition with a certain amount of signatures. And what's happening is it's turning out that West is submitting ballots with a number of fraudulent signatures, which could potentially put him on the line for electoral fraud. Now, if West is smart, which in some ways he is, but in other ways he most certainly isn't, but if he's smart, then he'll have plausible deniability in this, and someone else will be the fall guy that takes responsibility for all these fake signatures. But I don't know if he's smart in that way, so it may turn out that West did have knowledge about these fake signatures, and if that is the case, then there is the potential of him actually being charged with electoral fraud. Now, I don't think it's going to happen simply because of the fact that West is extraordinarily rich, and as we all know, extraordinarily rich people rarely face any sort of justice in matters like this. So, if you or I got caught doing this, the chances of us being charged with some form of electoral fraud would be pretty fucking high. But since Kanye West is doing it, and it's no wonder, by the way, that it's the GOP trying to help him get on these ballots. The hope, of course, is that Kanye West will siphon away enough of the black vote from Joe Biden that it may be enough to deliver Trump some upset victories in some of these states where he's not polling too hot at the moment, which is a pretty ridiculous fucking endeavor and pretty goddamn silly. Unlikely to happen, but that is why the GOP is doing this. It's so naked, it's so transparent, and it's pretty fucking scummy, to tell you the truth. Now, I don't have an opinion on whether or not West should be charged with this stuff. I just think it's funny that he's probably not going to be, whereas if you did this or if I did this, you know, there'd be a lot higher probability of charges being filed. Let's just put it that fucking way. And by the way, I see some Streamlabs and Super Chats coming in. I want to thank you guys for bringing those up. They will be read very shortly once we're done with all this stuff. We only have a few more stories to get through, so let's get through them. So you guys remember that photo that was circulating around about the students in the high school? They were all, you know, like not social distancing, very few of them wearing masks and stuff. Well, the teen who shared that photo of the packed high school hallway says she is now receiving threats. One message said, "I know where this girl lives." Other threats included, "We're going to jump every girl named Hannah in the 10th grade, and Hannah is going to have a rough day at school on Monday." Hannah told Boris Sanchez Sunday on CNN's newsroom. The teen said she understands why people are upset, but she shared the photo because she felt like it was the right thing to do. "I feel like a lot of teachers have my back because they know how dangerous it is going to school, but I know a lot of the kids I go to school with, I've already gotten backlash for it, threats and things like that," Hannah said. "I know I'm doing the right thing, and it's not going to stop me from continuing to do it, but it is concerning, especially since it's a lot of people I go to school with, people I've known for years now that are threatening me." So I don't understand these kids, man. Because if I was going to school and some chick shared pictures of the hallway being overcrowded and no one wearing masks, and it started this backlash that threatened to end the school year again, I would be all fucking for that. Like, what kind of fucking lame-ass, stupid-ass kids want to go to school? Fuck school. School sucks dick. Like, you're actually going to threaten someone who's trying to keep you out of school? Like, my finger is off the fucking pulse. Because when I was going to school, you know, we would do anything to not have to be going to school. Because we all recognized the fact that school sucks dick, and anything we can do to not have to go is worth doing. So what the fuck is this shit? There's actually high school kids threatening each other because they might not be able to go to school, as if going to school is some kind of fucking privilege or like fun thing to do. No, like, what? Huh? But not only that, just setting that all aside, like the fact that like she's actually getting heat for showing how fucking stupid this shit is ridiculous. Like, yeah, the idea that we should be reopening schools was a bad idea from the word go. We're in the midst of a fucking pandemic. These kids are clearly not fucking minding social distancing guidelines. They're clearly not minding fucking the urge to wear, like the urgings or obligations, in my opinion, to wear a mask in the fucking hallways or anywhere else in the school. So yeah, these dumbass kids should not be back in school yet. And anyone who thinks they should be is a fucking moron. And the fact that you would actually threaten people who are trying to highlight this issue is fucking disgusting, as well as being just nonsensical. Because even if there was no threat at all, like, it's an excuse to not be in school. Like, what the hell is wrong with these kids these days? ACLU calls for dissolving Department of Homeland Security. I'm not going to delve too deep into this because we got more shit to get into, but I just want to say good on you, ACLU. The Department of Homeland Security is a fucking giant crock of shit and should not exist. I was gonna maybe talk a little bit about Zootopia, but I think I'll keep that for next time. We already had a movie thing for this episode. Let's watch some of this Rick and Morty video and see what this is all about. I'm gonna go ahead and play it at double speed. I don't know if we're gonna get through the whole thing. It's quite long, but someone recommended we watch it. I don't know what the fucking thesis is here, but we'll check it out. Going double speed on this motherfucker. So if this dude talks fast, you guys are just fucked.
September 2013 saw the end of one of the greatest episodic comedies of all time as Futurama aired its final episode. I was just a kid in high school at the time, and my biggest pastime was turning on Comedy Central or Adult Swim and just grinding out homework late into the evening. I'll always remember the end of Futurama as such a bittersweet moment. We finally got to see the ultimate payoff of the series' 15-year-long journey, but at the same time, this was the end. No one was sure if there would ever be another show like it again. Fortunately for us, we didn't have to wait long. Holy crap, what are you
So I want to, first of all, just throw out there that I like the show Futurama, but this idea that Futurama is like the creme de la creme of fucking animated shows, or that it fucking deserves this, like, you know, pinnacle, oh man, it deserves to be put up on a pedestal or something. Like, it's good, but it's not that good. Like, you know, a lot of it's fucking repetitive and drags, and it probably should have ended years before it actually did. In fact, it probably should have ended when it was first canceled. You know, because it was brought back from the dead, I think twice maybe. And it's just, you know, it's an all right show, but I mean, it's not that fucking good. It's not that standout good that we need to fucking, like, venerate it to the level this guy is. Now, this is, once again, we're dealing with subjectivities here. This is just my opinion versus this dude's opinion, but I don't fucking, Futurama does not occupy as high of a fucking pedestal in my pantheon of great animated shows as it obviously does for him. So I'll just put that out there from the fucking get-go.
Adult Swim presents a new comedy from Dan Harmon and Justin Roiland, Rick and Morty, premiering Monday, December 2nd at 10:30 on Adult Swim.
All kids out of the pool for Adult Swim.
I remember it was around Thanksgiving when Adult Swim started airing the promos for Rick and Morty, a show that looked unlike anything the network had ever produced before. Adult Swim had always existed as a playground of artistic expression and creative experimentation. It's a channel within a channel, allowing it to operate without the financial responsibilities of a major...
All right, I don't need all this backstory, so let's kind of go ahead. Let's move ahead a little bit. I want to get to the meat of whatever this fucking video is about, which we'll go to 5 minutes in and see what the fuck's going on here.
critics, at one point peaking at number 7 on IMDb's top 250 TV shows. On paper, it appears to be not just one of the greatest shows of its time, but one of the greatest of all time. And yet, when you ask people their opinion on the show today, you'll find that the responses are much more polarizing than the critical consensus would have you believe. It seems you can't mention the show online anymore without sparking a vicious debate. Nowadays, there are lots of people who say the show went downhill. Some say that the show was never good in the first place. I remember a time when the show was universally revered, but somewhere along the way, something went very, very wrong. In order to understand what made people hate Rick and Morty, we have to understand what made people love Rick and Morty.
Okay, so I don't know what this guy's thesis is going to be, but I can tell you exactly what the cause is here. So Rick and Morty happened. It got popular. A bunch of people who were kind of woke, scoldy kind of people were like, oh my God, it's fucking, a lot of problematic elements in this show, you guys. A lot of problematic stuff. Fucking fan base is toxic as shit. There's a lot of problems going on in this show. A lot of problems. So in response to that, the Rick and Morty writing staff, which was at one point exclusively male, introduced some female writers into the mix. And it's like, look, okay, we hear you. We hear the criticism. We're going to get some fucking women involved in this. And when they did that, a lot of the fucking hardcore toxic fans or whatever, who I guess some of them were genuinely toxic, if you really wanted to fucking know the truth, we're like, no, this fucking sucks now. Even though there was really no difference they could really point to in the show, they're just like, it just doesn't, you can just tell. You just tell that there's like women doing stuff now. It's all this fucking woke bullshit happening. It's too meta now or whatever the fuck. So they got pissed. So, like, the toxic fan base that the show used to please was now mad at the show for fucking addressing these criticisms. And the fucking people who called the fan base toxic in the first place and said the show was fucking had problems and was problematic, those people, did you think those people fucking were all of a sudden pleased with the show? No. So basically you went from a show that was pissing off just the woke scolds to a show that still pisses off the woke scolds, but now also pisses off its own fan base because it gave in too much to the woke scolds. Meanwhile, the quality of the show has been pretty much consistent throughout. Like, it's like seasons 1, 2, 3, 4, they've all been pretty consistently good. Well-written, funny, interesting. Each episode is self-contained, and yet there's still like an overarching narrative that you can fucking get into and watch. So you can enjoy the show casually, or you can get way too deep into it. And it's funny and it's interesting, and there's like every episode has some kind of high concept craziness going on. It's a fucking brilliant show. It was at the beginning, and it still is. But there's been this really weird cultural conversation around the show, and at this point, the show is like pissed off different factions in this stupid culture war bullshit. So it's kind of like right in the middle of it's like crossfire, you know? I think that's what's basically happened. So that's my thesis. I don't know what this guy's thesis is. We'll see.
Well, what do you love about Rick and Morty? Most people would say that they watch Rick and Morty to see two dudes go on wacky sci-fi adventures. Many like to praise the clever and shocking comedy. Some find the crude, improvised moments charming. Others relate to the show's nihilist overtones and appreciate its commentary on the nature of society. A lot of people became invested in the lore and world building and keep watching to see where the story goes next. All of these are valid reasons to like the show, but if you ask me, a lot of people overlook the one element that truly makes Rick and Morty click. Ask yourself this: what is Rick and Morty about? You could come up with a million answers to this question, but ultimately at its core, Rick and Morty is a show about a dysfunctional family. More specifically, Rick and Morty is a show about how a dysfunctional family deals with identity, coming of age, belonging, wasted potential.
Like this is kind of getting to the fact that Rick and Morty, for all its bells and whistles and flourishes and stuff, is essentially a family sitcom. Like at the core of it, at the root of it, Rick and Morty is a family sitcom. That's true. It takes that dynamic in very strange places that I don't think any other family sitcom has ever taken it before. But at its core, it has the family sitcom fucking dynamic. It's, there's the mom and the dad and the kids, and Rick is the crazy uncle character, and the family gets in all sorts of fucking crazy hijinks and shit. And it's situational comedy. That's why it's a fucking sitcom. So yeah, I think that is, I don't know if I go so far as to call that the core of it, but I would say it's the template that it plays with.
Mediocrity and loneliness. These are all prevailing conflicts embodied by each member of the Smith family. I initially compared Rick and Morty to Futurama, but it thematically has much more in common with The Simpsons. At a superficial level, you could describe Rick and Morty as a sci-fi comedy, but at a conceptual level, the show is much closer to a family drama. This is the thematic engine which drives the characters, the story, and the philosophy of the show.
I don't necessarily disagree with that.
But don't just take my word for it. The answer was hiding in plain sight all along from the very beginning.
I don't really think it was hiding. It's maybe just a little bit obscured by the fucking wackiness and the fucking, the fact that it goes so far beyond what you'd typically expect from this kind of show in terms of the concepts it's willing to use and stuff like that. So, I mean, it gets kind of, maybe it gets a little bit obscured by that, but I don't really think it was ever necessarily hidden.
Science makes sense. Family doesn't.
All right.
Unfortunately, I feel like most of the audience have fundamentally misunderstood the overall conceit of the show, choosing instead to focus on the far more bombastic sci-fi elements. Much of the controversy around the show today can be attributed to the audience basing their expectations around a sci-fi adventure rather than a family drama. Early on, this led to numerous articles ordaining Rick and Morty the smartest show on television. This ultimately caused people to assign tremendous scientific and philosophical weight towards nonsensical aspects of the show. You had people trying to dissect the greater intellectual meaning behind Mr. Poopy Butthole. Rick and Morty is a very clever show, but most of the science presented by the show is more or less arbitrary. Futurama was a show that was far more realistic in its portrayal of scientific concepts. One time, Ken Keeler even presented an original.
Oh man, suck that Futurama dick some more. All right. So I'm pretty much with him on this shit. Let's see. What's the next part? Let's skip a little bit more ahead. We'll go to 16 minutes in.
Oh, jeez, he's crying. Well, that's too bad for Rick.
Now, I understand that when I skip around like this, I could be missing key parts of his argument, but I also don't want to just sit here and be like, I agree with that. Okay, yep, fair enough. So, I mean, I know he's like laying the groundwork here for his thesis. So let's get to the point where you fucking explain your position, man.
If only there was an amazing scientific invention that was up to 90% effective at reducing and stopping the symptoms of hair loss. This video is brought.
Oh, okay.
But this scene just came off as cheap. After this moment, much of the open-ended mystique of Rick's character was extinguished, and the series became less compelling as a result. Speaking of Rick's character, this episode
Hold on, we gotta go
to
back.
interpret the show. Would always portray. The show never recovered. So what went wrong with Pickle Rick? A lot of people could tell that something was off about it, but had a hard time articulating why. Most people just know it as that episode with the annoying meme, but the issues with the episode run far deeper. In many ways, Pickle Rick betrayed the philosophy of the entire series up to that point. It did so in three main aspects, starting with structure. Rick and Morty would always portray its conflict through the lens of science fiction. This left a lot of room for interpretation, as the message of the show was never directly stated. That all changed when Pickle Rick had Susan Sarandon literally explain to the audience how they're supposed to interpret the show. There was nothing metaphorical or nuanced about it, just a regular human therapist on regular old Earth telling the audience how they should feel. I understand that the writers were trying something new, but this scene just came off as cheap. After After this moment, much of the open-ended mystique of Rick's character was extinguished, and the series became less compelling as a result.
I don't agree with that. I mean, like, at some point, the character of Rick there has to be someone who calls him on his bullshit. Like, I don't think that anything that Susan Sarandon's character said in that moment was something that was, like, not already pretty obvious, like, about Rick and the character he is. I think it was just kind of like, I think the problem with it, and it kind of goes back to that fucking argument I'm talking about between the woke scolds and the fucking edgelords kind of thing. The woke scolds are like, yeah, show's problematic. And the Susan Sarandon's character was kind of there to take something that had been in the background of the show and put it in the forefront. It's like, look, we acknowledge that this character is fucking not a role model. He's not a fucking good guy or a hero. He's deeply flawed, and here's exactly why. And I think that maybe, that's just one of many moments that kind of got the fucking edgelordy fans like, what the fuck? No, Rick is God. How dare you criticize Rick? Rick's awesome. And so I think it upset that fucking, part of the fan base. So maybe this video kind of has a point in that respect. But honestly, like, all of those things about Rick were already pretty firmly established in the fucking lore of the show, and the fact that it is based around a dysfunctional family. Like, Rick is the most dysfunctional of all. He's the most intelligent, therefore the most complicated, therefore the most fucking dysfunctional. And Susan Sarandon just explains his dysfunction in an expository way, but it's nothing that wasn't already there in the fucking, not just the subtext of the show, but the text of the show. So I don't really think that was some moment where Rick was demystified or whatever. I think it was just like, okay, hey, for all you dumb shits out there who haven't already gotten this, let's just make it explicitly clear to you that this is what we're fucking saying with this character. So I don't know. I don't know if it did not harm my enjoyment of the show. In fact, it was kind of nice to see Rick actually get fucking told about himself to his face. I thought it was kind of a gratifying moment and not some sort of like, oh no, they fucking ruined the mystique of Rick moment. That's how I interpreted it. So I don't really agree with this idea that this is like, this is the moment where they fucking jumped the shark.
Speaking of Rick's character, this episode fundamentally alters the way in which Rick is written as a character moving forward. For starters, Rick's power level from this point onward is completely absurd. In the older seasons, Rick was savvy, but still vulnerable. Most of the time, all Rick could do was run away and escape through a portal. The new seasons portray Rick as an invincible killing machine who can mow down enemies with ease. This ruins the tension of all the action scenes because you know that Rick is no longer in any real danger. Most of the time, he'll defeat his enemies in 1 second with an overpowered body augmentation that's never explained nor brought up again. You know, maybe something like this could have come in handy that one time he got beat up and robbed by a teenage girl. Rick's new unstoppable combat ability is emblematic of a far greater change in the overall presentation of the character. Rick's whole character arc of accountability is more or less absent in Season 3. Somewhere along the way, Rick transformed from the flawed scientist to the smartest man in the universe.
Smartest man in the universe. You want me to get intel out of the smartest mammal in the galaxy? He can do that.
He is the smartest man in the universe.
Smartest man in
The
the
show only starts
universe.
calling Rick this in Season 3. At no prior point did any other character refer to Rick as the smartest person in the universe.
So what? Like, literally, so what? Okay, so let me just show you something. Give me a second. Hold on. Remember, I'm doing this live, so I don't have the fucking benefit of being able to sit down and script my responses to you. Let's do Garfield. First comic. Here we go. This is Garfield. This is how Garfield started, okay? What's the point? Does this look anything like the fucking Garfield that we know and some of us love today? Does he look a goddamn thing like it? Does John Arbuckle look like John? No. You know why? Because characters evolve, especially early on. Like, your initial conceit of what a character should be, and then the direction you might... The most that a character is going to change is going to be in those early years. That's why you go back and watch early, like you watch like the first season of The Simpsons compared to the third season. It's night and fucking day. There's more difference between season 1 Simpsons and season 3 Simpsons than there is from season 3 to like season 10. Okay? Because Early on is when you fucking make those fucking tweaks. Like, this isn't working, that's not working. So yeah, you watch the first season of Family Guy versus like season 3 Family Guy. Like, take any of these animated shows. They're all fucking very different when they start than where they are by the time they reach season 3. Most of them are, because that's when you do the most sort of like, let's fucking take, okay, this is working, this is not working. Then you hit that sweet spot. So this is just like a pretty natural evolution of a fucking character. Just pointing out that the character of Rick is written differently in season 3 than he was in season 1. And by the way, not that significantly. Like, maybe the fucking term smartest man in the universe hadn't been used prior to season 3, but it was pretty fucking suggested that Rick was, if not the smartest in the universe, then among the smartest in the universe. Like, that's his whole trope, is he's this crazy fucking mad scientist who can do shit that no one else can do, or at least no one else that we're seeing. So I don't know that this is all that much of a transformation, and even if it were, This is exactly the point in a show when you'd expect to see such transformations happening.
I always thought that Rick was smart enough to see the universe in a more complex way, but he wasn't an omnipotent god. There were many other beings in the show whose powers far exceeded any of his capabilities, but in the newer seasons, the whole universe seems to just exist as Rick's playing field.
When you know nothing matters, the universe is yours. Smart people get a chance to climb on top, take reality for a ride.
This caused season 3 to feel very unbalanced. There are far less heartfelt character moments and far more biting cynicism. The show will introduce a thoughtful origin story about Rick and then discard it 2 minutes later as a mere plot device to get Rick out of prison. So was it real? Did it matter? Does anything in the season matter?
Would you have really wanted that lame, generic-ass origin story to be Rick's origin? Like, let me just add, like, it was intentionally the most cliche fucking, like, beta brain fucking origin story you could possibly write for the character of Rick. Would you really have wanted it to be the real origin? Like, come on. It was specifically written to be a fucking cliche. Of course they're not going to saddle Rick with some lame-ass, predictable fucking origin story. Like, his family was killed. Oh, no. And that's why he's such a grumpy guy. Like, come on, dude. Would you really want that to have been canon? I know I wouldn't have. I thought it was, like, when they first did that moment, I was like, oh my God, please do not let this be like his actual origin. Please be this Rick lying. And when it was, I was fucking immensely relieved. So yeah, no way. That should not be the origin of Rick.
It was as if Rick's nihilism bled into the tone of the entire show. From this point onward, most of the family members lose their defining characteristics to become more like Rick. Limiting the nihilism to just a single character is fine, but when the whole show is telling you that nothing matters, then the audience have to ask themselves why the show matters. I understand that this is supposed to be the darkest year of our adventures, but season 3 doesn't feel dark as much as it feels aimless. Rick and Morty was always dark. The show is a dark comedy. Was it not dark when Morty got violated by King Jellybean, or the multiple times Rick tried to end his own life? Season 3 didn't add dark moments as much as it subtracted comedic ones. Pickle Rick represents an unpleasant malaise that hangs over the whole season. Characters stop developing.
No. Pickle Rick's a fucking awesome episode. I'm sorry. And by the way, Pickle Rick, single-handedly, pretty much better than any episode of Futurama. Any episode. Pound for pound, just better. But anyway, the theme of season 3 to me was, hey, this is Rick as an app. It's Rick in God mode, okay? But if you're going to look at the whole season, obviously you can look at self-contained episodes, but the whole season as a thematic whole is Rick is God. Rick is God. He controls everything. He manipulates events. Everything fucking plays out exactly as he intends it to. He fucking dispenses with his enemies with the greatest of ease. He's basically just the God Emperor of the universe, because anything that he wants to happen can happen at any time. And there's no point fucking challenging him or questioning him, blah, 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 blah. Most of the season is about Rick in that mode. But the way the season ends is all of that comes crashing down. Everything that he thought he accomplished just fucking comes to a bitter end. He thought he got rid of Jerry. Jerry's back in the household. He thought that he fucking, solved Beth's, crisis and got that stable. And now that, he'd created his family dynamic exactly as he wanted it to. But the dysfunction of that family was beyond his ability to repair. he has to deal with Jerry. He has to deal with Beth not fucking kissing his ass. He has to deal with, Summer and Morty, who used to idolize and venerate him, now looking at him as cynically as he looks at everything else because his cynical, jaded worldview has tainted them. And we see the repercussions of that echo throughout season 4 of the show, where Rick is no longer in God mode. Season 4 of the show was dedicated almost exclusively to Rick being shit on. We got a few of those big Rick is God moments, but we got a lot more of, Rick critical episodes. And we see that Summer and Morty are now appraise Rick with the same kind of cynicism that Rick appraises the world with, because his point of view rubbed off on them to the point that they no longer extol him and look up to him, and they're not trying to be Grandpa's favorite anymore. Now they're totally jaded and cynical in the same way that he is. And you can say like, oh well, doesn't that kind of like diminish the show because all these characters have become corrupted by Rick or whatever? I mean, it seems to me like it's kind of just a natural outgrowth of what Rick has done. Like, we see Rick's impact on this, like the entirety of the 4 seasons, whatever arc you're going through, is how Rick's toxicity affects his family. Like, that's the overarching theme of all 4 seasons. So I don't know. It doesn't seem to me like that's a negative. It seems like that's kind of like the heart of the show, from my perspective.
Consequences don't matter as much. The family has very little to do because they spend the whole season separated, only to just get back together at the end. Like,
the idea of consequences not mattering is kind of central to Rick and Morty, because, like, remember very early on in season 1, it was established that if Rick gets in too much trouble, he can simply just discard the reality that he fucked up and just go move on to a new one. Like, here's a reality that's basically the same, but I didn't fuck it up. So we'll just move to this one, and now we're just going to take the place of this Rick and Morty who died. And so it was established very early on that consequences for Rick are minimal, if anything. So yeah, like the idea of nothing having consequence, that's like the core of the nihilism of the show. Because Rick knows there's infinite realities with infinite Ricks, infinite Beths, infinite Jerrys, infinite Summers, infinite Mortys, where the same events are taking place or similar analogous events are taking place. And it's infinite, and therefore none of this stuff really fucking matters. And living with that reality and trying to still, try to come up with some sort of reason for being that sort of fucking struggle seems really fucking central to the show to me. And it's not something that came along in later seasons. Like, it's right there at the inception. I mean, the first scene we see of Rick and Morty is Rick literally trying to just destroy the world so that we can start over, So that kind of already gives you an idea of just like the consequence reality that this dude consequence-free reality that this dude occupies. Like, it's literally the first scene of the fucking show.
Nothing happened.
By the way, when you're telling these little stories, here's a good idea. Have a point.
In my opinion, it would have been a lot more compelling if the series chose to separate Rick from the family instead of Jerry. This would have shaken up the structure while still keeping Rick's character intact. I get the feeling that this was the original plan for season 3, but they were too afraid to pull the trigger. They needed to keep Rick as the straightforward face of the show because by the 3rd season, the series had become marketable.
You went to a store, an actual honest-to-God store, and you bought something. Buy another one, Morty. Consume, Morty.
Pickle Rick was the final step in establishing the show as a trendy brand. In the coming months, Pickle Rick would be plastered all over posters, merchandise, and other promotional material for the show. I would describe this as the point in which Rick and Morty truly converged with the fandom.
Oh my God, a popular thing has products. Futurama never had products. No, I mean, this is fucking silly at this point. I don't agree with whatever the fucking contention is here. Like, it's just like he attributes aspects of the show that were with the show from the beginning to only happening in later seasons. He is basically just like getting mad at the show now for like selling out, even though every fucking show that gets this popular sells out. I mean, if you're going to fucking hold this show to this standard, then you got to fucking hold every fucking show that sells out to the same standard. And every show that gets this popular fucking sells out. Because that's fucking capitalism. That's what we do here in this country. I don't know. I'm not really fucking getting the stab or the thrust of it. And like, I mean, I've skipped around, so there's stuff I probably missed. There's, you know, aspects of this argument that I probably didn't let him lay the groundwork to. But honestly, I don't have time to watch a 34-minute and 45-second video. But from what I'm seeing, I don't think I agree with the overall criticism being made here. Now, if I missed something and I missed some crucial point, I guess people will let me know. And maybe I can revisit this video at some future point. But for now, I you know, the new DFF that's coming out is waiting on me, so I gotta fucking wrap this up. So as you guys may or may not know, we will be premiering our episode, our newest episode of Deep Fat Fried momentarily as soon as this stream ends. But first, I do have to go through our Streamlabs. So let's do that. Let's take care of that fucking business. And then we'll wrap this up. And then immediately afterwards, if you guys haven't had your fill of content as of yet, you can go right on over to the Deep Fat Fried channel, linked to right down below. And you can check out the world premiere of our newest episode, Clits of Steel. That'll be premiering just 5 to 10 minutes after this stream reaches its conclusion. So, but before that can happen, we have to read donations. So let's go find the most recent stuff. You got to find my place over here in the donations. Give me 1 second. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. So, Furry Keith David gave $6.66. Has someone already made a remix of Ben Shapiro's WAP reading? Yeah, I heard about that. I don't want to play it because I feel like I might still get copyright struck for the music. TJ has become Gord, gave $4, says it may not be much, but I hope, he gave $4 and said it may not be much, but I hope this helps out to get your not a $10 million house, but a $20 million house. Help you out. Help out, you fucks. Thanks, buddy. Paul has killed Gord TJ. Oh, fuck. Gave $5, says, if I or anyone else here ever runs for president, the slogan should be Make America High Again. Also, big butts and small ones, which need more love. Baby Nut gave $6.66, says, have some money. All right, I will. Gorehoundula gave $6.66, says, you were going to burn a flag way back in the peasant days and have just been sitting on the idea waiting for Trump to try to banning it. We deserve it now more than ever. Let's see some sparks. Yeah, I do have an American flag that is specifically for burning if Trump ever tries to ban flag burning. Now, he's talked about it a few times, but if he ever actually makes a serious effort towards it, that's when you'll see that happen. Star Fox gave $3 and said, I phone banked for Bernie and asked Biden backers what top issue he addressed. The answer invariably was, defeat Trump, which is dumb because they'll pick any not Trump in the general. So picking Bernie in the primary and vote Biden in general if he gets nom. Yeah, I don't know. Considering that these people were doing nothing more than voting against Trump, I don't know why they felt that they had to deny us an actually good candidate, but here we are. Hunter S. Bunsen gave 9/11 and said strategically placed Pickle Rick gif. Yeah, Pickle Rick gifs. I think anyone who donates 9/11 gets the Pickle Rick gif, I think. I'm not sure if that's for Super Chats or for Streamlabs. Koyama gave $10 and says, it is so simple about the school issue. They support Trump or they can't fathom changes to life so drastic because basically stuck in a brick mindset. I don't know what to call it. Also, then you wrote some Japanese bullshit. Anime character, yeah, I'm a fucking degenerate weeb. He's trying to help me pronounce his other screen name that I couldn't pronounce otherwise. Ho Yu Wen Kyo Ma. Okay, sure. Fair enough, bud. Fair enough. Hey, the tits. Blah, 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 blah. M. Morrison gave 666 and says, so a possible meaning or purpose of the universe is finding the path to least resistance. For example, the layout of neurons in our brain, or the way a river breaks off into smaller arms, or the shape of a tree branch, even the shape of the universe. Okay, I don't really see how that is tethered to meaning or purpose, but I guess it describes a physical property of the universe, maybe. I don't see how that's pertains to purpose in any way, shape, or form, but whatever, hey, fucking A-right, man. Maybe you got a point and I just don't see it because I'm too fucking dumb. Let's see here. Okay, so super chats. Melody Belk, I think I might have already read this, but if I didn't, it's $10. Says thanks for the delicious content. You're welcome. Maledicta. Oh, I already did read this. Okay. So Chaos and Rush. Yeah, okay, I already read that. God damn it. Okay, Doug Rubio, $4.99. Your recent legalized drug video didn't mention weed. What do you think of it? I mean, I love weed, obviously. Thomas Garton gave $4.99, says, give a detailed review of what you thought of the new Tool album. I've only listened to it once, and I had sex when I was listening to it, so I wasn't really focused on the album as much as I was the sex. So, yeah, I don't know. But I had good sex to it, so I'll give it that much of a review. Dick Butt gave $10 and says, hope y'all are staying healthy. Peace. I'm probably healthier now than I've been in a while because I'm losing weight. I'm on a low-calorie diet, relatively speaking anyway. I've quit smoking cigarettes, and I'm trying to work out a little more, so I'm probably healthier now than I've been in quite a good bit of time. Scuzzlebutt McDoodlezoot gave $10. Says, watching your vids for 4 years. Thanks for the content. You're welcome. And thank you for the 10 very generous dollars. Chris Kilgore gave $5 and says, please start making GIFs of your ass so I can start to give you money. Bitch word? Byword? That will demonetize. I don't know. Rohan Forster gave 5 Australian funny monies and says, no, don't sell yourself out. I really like your videos. Oh, I'm going to sell out like a bitch. You just wait. $20 million mansion, here I fucking come. JFan45 gave $1. Every little bit helps. Martin Schulter gave €2, I think. Didn't say nothing. Eric Martins gave $9.99. Says, just curious, what are your issues with Tulsi? TJ, she was my second choice after Bernie. Also, what are your thoughts on Andrew Yang? So I liked Tulsi at one point. But the more I read about her, the more I researched about her, the more I fucking had serious misgivings. And, I started to sense a real pattern in her, like, there are certain ways in which she deviates from the progressive norm, which that in and of itself, not that big of a deal. But when you look at the specific ways she does it, it leads you to some pretty troubling conclusions about what she believes behind the scenes. That's all I'll say for now. I'd like to, maybe I'll get more into it if she decides to get back into politics. But right now, I'd like to just let her fade into irrelevance. But if she starts to make a name for herself again, right now she has no political power. She's not a congresswoman anymore. If she runs for the Senate or something like that, then we can get into specific criticisms. But until then, I'm going to kind of keep my mouth shut about what I'm talking about because hopefully she'll just fade into obscurity and become irrelevant. Daniel Schmidt gave $5. It says, in reality, most love the Pickle Rick episode for the feels it gives. The entire first season had deep feels that connected with us. I don't know about this deep feels. I never felt like Rick and Morty was all that sentimental of a show. In fact, I feel like it kind of spit in the face of sentiment, so I don't know what the fuck that means. But, hey, everyone gets something different out of a work of art. So, what you perceive and what I perceive could be totally different fucking things. That's kind of the cool thing about art is, like, you can have a stick figure and you can have the Sistine Chapel and, there's no objective way to prove that the Sistine Chapel is better than the stick figure. I mean, you can talk about, you could offer up biographical details about Michelangelo, and you can talk about all the techniques that were used to paint the Sistine Chapel ceiling, or the time commitment, or, the techniques and the history and the tradition and all that stuff. And how it's clearly better than a stick figure that someone just sketched out on a fucking pad of paper just without fucking much thought or effort. But at the end of the day, what you cannot do is objectively demonstrate that the Sistine Chapel ceiling is better than the stick figures. And that's kind of why art inhabits a realm of pure chaos, because there are no objective standards. Your perception of Rick and Morty and my perception of Rick and Morty, totally different fucking perceptions. Healthy Paul gave 666, says Scotty should do a morning show / stream. Well, Scotty would have to be up in the morning for that, so that's not going to happen. Paul's uncle gave $5 and says Pickle Rick was only created to sell toys, and you know it. I don't really feel like there's too many toys of Pickle Rick, but if you mean it was only created as a merchandising thing, then whatever, you know. So were the Ninja Turtles. I loved them as a kid. Lots of things are just a product begging for your fat ass dirty dollar, so shut up and buy my new record. Let's see here. Do we have any more of these? Any more Streamlabs come in? Nope. Any more Super Chats come in? Oops, fuck. I went to the wrong damn page. Oops. Give me a second. Technical difficulties. Any more Super Chats come in since then? I don't think so. Looks like I've grifted as much as I can out of the audience. Doesn't look like they're willing to be grifted any further. So thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate each and every last one of you. I appreciate all the very kind and generous Super Chats and Streamlabs that I received. And I appreciate everyone who didn't have the ability or inclination to share the Super Chats or Streamlabs, but did pop in and check out some of what we were talking about here on tonight's stream. And for the 1,313 of you that are still watching and engaged, hopefully, I would like to ask you all to go to the Deep Fat Fried channel, which is linked in the description, and go check out tonight's world premiere episode of Deep Fat Fried. Tonight's episode is Clits of Steel, an exploration of some of the badass bitches throughout history that you probably haven't heard about. And I see that a couple of little super chats have come in since I started talking here, and I want to thank them. I also see that we got a Streamlabs. Hey, TJ, been watching for 10 plus years. Was going to buy a girls OnlyFans, but I think you deserve it more. By the way, what do you think about Belle Delphine? I mean, I just told someone the other day the only thing I even drink water-wise is that Belle Delphine bath water, because that's just like the elixir of life, right? I also saw Cat Snake Wolf say patrons for life. That's cool. TV Brian gave $3. Didn't say nothing. The Jewish Tin Man from Wizard of Oz said favorite Mortal Kombat character. I don't know, probably fucking one of the ones with big tits. I don't remember their names. But I gotta go. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to go to the channel down below. Check out Clits of Steel, the badass bitches of history. It's a Paul episode. I'm told that Paul does the best episodes. I'm fucking willing to accept that. So check it out. Judge for yourself. Subscribe to the Deep Fat Fried channel if you haven't. And if you're not subscribed to this channel, be sure to subscribe down below. Hit that alert bell. Let it know that you actually want to be told when shit's uploaded. And I will be back, hopefully not too long from now, with some more delicious content for you wonderful, wonderful people. And, yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys on the fucking flip side of reality, which I don't know what lingers there, but hopefully it's not some Cthulhu-esque abomination ready to eat our fucking souls. And with that, I'm going to say, peace the fuck. You're all wonderful. Is this camera still working? I'd rather do peace the fuck out in this camera because it's a little bit fucking. I think I like this shot a little better. Oh, the fault line is going nuts. Keep up the great work, TJ. I don't know what that means. What fault line? Anyway, maybe there's been an earthquake or something, and I don't know it because I've been busy doing this stream. Or maybe he's referencing something I'm not fucking sure of. But who cares? Doesn't matter. The stream's over. Watch that DFF episode. It's going to premiere in a fucking minute. Don't fucking watch anything else. Just go to the fucking DFF channel, subscribe, and wait for that episode to premiere because you're going to fucking love it. Clits of Steel. It's going to happen. Fucking watch it. Peace the fuck out.